You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
A very good afternoon and welcome to today's edition of the Eastland Match of the Round. The EFNL media van has taken the trip up to Porter Street to cover a huge Division 2 clash this afternoon between Templestowe and Surrey Park. Plenty of hype surrounding these two sides who will look to remain undefeated after today's clash here at Templestowe Reserve. We'll bring you all the action plus the next hour of pre-game right here on 98.1 Radio Eastern FM and streaming around the globe on YouTube and Facebook on what is a special day across Australia, ANZAC Day, a day where we honour those that have fought so gallantly or have sacrificed themselves on the battlefield across the generations to make Australia the country that it is today. I'm Josh Ward, joined by an elite panel in the pre-game show. First up, a man who knows a thing or two about the AFNL, but particularly this division, having been involved with one of the clubs in this division the last couple of years. It's none other than the super coaching analyst, Brett Davidson. Welcome, Davo.
Thank you very much. Yes, I've been sacked by nearly every club in this division. I do know a little bit about them. I was lucky enough to coach Tempe in before you were probably born in 99 and 20 to dual grand finals with dual 2-point losses. So not that I'm still hurting much, but it's going to be a sensational opportunity to see the best two sides in the competition go at it today. Yeah,
looking forward to it. A heavyweight bout out here at Templestowe Reserve on this glorious ANZAC Day. And the other panel member, the reigning Clinton Grievous Award winner, who will be roaming the boundary. And it's good to have this man back after missing last week. Chris Cordis, welcome, Chris.
Yes, thank you, Josh. And a hell of a day to be on the boundary as well. He's an absolute stunner. Normally, my checklist for being on the boundaries, if it's not raining, I'm happy with it. And this is about as good as it gets. So really excited to get into it.
I'm surprised Ryan didn't put himself on the boundary as well, actually, because he loves these types of conditions. But we're going to be joined by both coaches, James Kenworthy, in a couple of minutes' time. Paul Fiorenza will also be joining us at about 1:30. But it is a massive contest out here at Templestowe Reserve, Davo. The two best sides, as I mentioned, there's been a lot of hype around them because Templestowe heartbreakingly losing last year's grand final and Surrey Park overrun by the eventual premiers in the preliminary final in Wantirna South, and both have made a lot of list improvements over the off-season, picking up some really handy names. You look at Surrey Park, guys like Dill Williams, Blake Lyler from the AFL system, Templestowe, a guy like Marcus Young, and among others, Zari Motter as well, coming across from Mitcham. It's set up to be a really good contest out here.
Yeah, look, I think we'll talk a little bit about it with the coaches, but there's been massive turnovers in both lists, which is really unusual for sides that finish, second and third on the ladder, and both played up to the prelim final the year before. But they have been big. A lot of it's been through retirement. There's been some injuries over the last couple of weeks to both sides in key areas, so that'll be interesting to see how they replace them. But you are looking at, and I think they've both proven it. They proved it last year that they were top three teams, and I think you're going to find that they're the top two, and I've got a funny feeling they're a little bit further away than everybody else. So it will be fascinating to see how they go about it today. Yeah,
it will be, and that was the discussion in the pre-season preview, Chris, with obviously us two, Davo, but of course Matt Spiderlee and Ryan Long joining us. But we'll focus on Surrey Park because joining us now is the senior coach of the Surrey Park Football Netball Club, James Kenworthy. James, thanks so much for joining us.
Morning, boys. Thanks for having me. Afternoon, sorry.
How are you feeling about this contest coming up against the benchmark of Division 2 last season in the third round of the season?
Yeah, really excited. Obviously, pretty special day today, and a lot's been sort of said about our sort of rivalry last year with Templestowe, and no better day than today to go up against them.
And then I was going to ask about playing on ANZAC Day as well, which is rare that it lands on a Saturday, but that must make it a little bit more significant as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to acknowledge our history in all the ANZACs today, and hopefully we do them proud today.
Well, Kenneth, I think if you sat down and you took last year's preliminary final lists and grand final lists and you looked at them today, you would barely recognise them. Whether it's retirements and injuries, it's going to be a completely different chess game today, isn't it? Because you've obviously picked up some really good players that can, in Williams and Lidler, and you've got some other boys that have come up, Motta and these guys, and you've got Templestowe have picked up Seedsman. They've got a few other young and a few other boys, but you're also missing, both of you, big chunks in big areas, which are really crucial. How have you done? What preparation have you done for this group for today, and particularly on a big ground like this?
Well, yeah, it's great. Obviously, Prem Data going through all the divisions, so it's great that we can actually watch all the games back. So, yeah, obviously, Tempe have sort of similar to us, about 8 or 9 different blokes. So just to sort of be able to watch vision and sort of see their stats through the weeks, and like they're sort of pretty similar in how they play. Obviously, with Big Bo as a ruck, like you sort of utilise that, and yeah, for them to be number one at scores from stoppage. Obviously, they're a very big stoppage side, so yeah, we'll see how we can combat that today.
I know your body is probably thanking you for it, but do you miss the playing side of it with the coaching aspect as well?
I think for any play, like, you're always going to miss it. But yeah, as you get older, it does take a lot of work to sort of recover and everything. So yeah, definitely sort of thankful with my body this year.
Yeah, excellent. And, you know, going through last season's form, and when you two sides met, obviously Templestowe got the rub of the green against you throughout last season. I think it was 0-3 through the 3 games. Just in terms of a mentality thing, I'm interested, is that something that the boys are aware of? Is it something you bring up, or do you try and kind of shy away from it? How do you kind of address that group going into this game today?
No, they're definitely aware of it. I think it's been pretty well documented. But as you said, it's a totally different lineup for both sides, so it doesn't really sort of play any part. We sort of went to work over the summer in where we need to get better in how we play footy, and with all of our new inclusions that we've got, we're, yeah, totally different sides. So yeah, expect a totally different game and result today.
Yeah, brilliant. And you mentioned him before, but Big Bo Mitch, and obviously no Ben Woodfull for yourselves today. How do you kind of look to manipulate that ruck contest to get it on your terms?
Well, yeah, we're going with Benny Palmer in the ruck today. Obviously a young kid playing his third senior game today, but he's got a tremendous leap. And yeah, from centre bounce, we'll definitely try and exploit Bo that way. And then as far as the game goes, try and limit the amount of stoppages. Obviously, that's their number one strength. If we can limit the amount of stoppages overall, that should help us in good stead.
You talked about the fact that you made some changes or made some tweaks over the pre-season period because of the players, A, that you've lost, and B, that you've brought in. What are we going to see that's a little bit different? Because you've also been incredibly successful, and I will count last year as a success, moving up in a new division, which I think the footy was a bit better than third division, a bit more even. What's been the change in the way that you've gone about tweaking the way that you want to play your footy this year?
I think just as you got the divisions, you've got to be a lot more structured, and obviously the teams you come up against, there's no sort of real weakness in any side. Like, they're all pretty strong. So just being more structured in sort of every facet of the game, and just the understanding and knowledge, and really educating the boys, like the whole squad that we've got, even the Dev and the 19s boys, so it's sort of playing all one way. Just that whole education-based pre-season around and actually training it.
I look at your midfield. So Marn, Smith and Hart, whether they line up in the midfield, I don't know, and you don't have to tell us, that's all right, but they've been kind of like named in that area. It gives you grunt, outside run, and a little bit of goal sense as well, which is something that not so much you didn't have, but losing Hendon at the end of the year changed that balance a little bit. Are you finding it a little bit better of a balance when you look at what you've got there in the midfield?
Yeah, for sure. We're always trying to sort of diversify our midfield. And if you look at sort of some games last year where we're winning a lot at the sort of source and then getting sort of hurt on the rebound. So, yeah, being able to have those three, and there's sort of another 2, 3, 4 that can actually roll through there this year. So our whole depth chart with the midfield group just on a game day. So you'll see plenty of looks today.
Now, as it stands, through the 2 games, we're the only side that's kicked over 200 points so far. Obviously, we know that Dylan Williams up in the forward line is a massive inclusion to this side. How much is built around him going through there, but also how important is it to get those different avenues into your forward 50 today to get that scoring continuing?
Yeah, obviously it's a really important piece to us. But with our lineup, like, there's been 3 or 4 different forwards in that forward line. So like Blake Laidler played forward round 1. Benny Palmer's obviously been a forward, and obviously having an AFL or 2 AFL calibre players coming in, it just totally changes our view of how we go forward and how we can utilise them. And obviously Dill last week kicking 9, like I mentioned in the coach's corner chat. We weren't we were going to him quite a lot, but at ground level he's that much of a player, so he can sort of kick it from anywhere. And yeah, we don't want to be too focused on Dill, but most teams will probably sort of target him.
Just lastly from me, 2 questions, like I always do. I can't stop with one. How important has Dill been with regards to his education as a senior AFL experienced player with the rest of the group?
He's been awesome. Obviously, 6 years in the system, he's got a wealth of knowledge, and being our forward line coach, really developing the boys through there, and obviously helping me quite a bit through the pre-season. And yeah, he's just a wonderful kid, and yeah, heaps of knowledge that he's really wanting to come back to Surrey and actually teach and make us grow as a whole club and a group, and yeah, not just be Div 2 and just keep going up in the ranks.
I suppose being forward coach, you can say kick it to me too, coach, a little bit more. And the last one, I always get his name wrong. Flynn Siasos, is it?
Yep.
I was super impressed with him last year and what he was able to do when he came through the midfield. His run, his carry, got a bit of speed, foot speed as well. How has he been injured over pre-season? Because I see, has he come back through the reserves today? I'm not sure. I just wanted to know a little bit about what's happened because I rated him last year.
Yeah, Flinny's a ripper. He's playing out there now. And yeah, obviously with our depth in midfield, he's been squeezed out. But these first 2 weeks, he's been in the best, or best 2 or 3 on the ground. And his emergency is that inside mid. And obviously left footer, he's got a great footy brain. He gets in really good spots, and he almost kicked a goal in that early first quarter there as well. So can hit the scoreboard.
And I want to highlight some of the other inclusions as well, like Joseph Hayden Delaney, James Monks, who both have mates at the club and have come externally, haven't come through the Surrey junior ranks, unlike some of the others that have come in. How have they settled in, and what have they added to the group, given they've played top flight footy over the last couple of years? Yeah,
they've been terrific. Obviously, James Monks was a laid out last week. He had a baby, so congrats to them. Little Tommy Monks was born last week, so shout out to them. But they've been obviously super, playing at a high level. And yeah, to watch sort of Monksy go today on a big deck will really suit us and how we want to play. Joey Ayton again. He did play, was it Oakley and Vic Metro back in the day with like Dill's year level, so they've got a connection there with Sam Hart as well. But again, just having that experience, they can teach our younger kids the way that we sort of want to play, and yeah, it just makes for a whole group and synergy just so much better.
Absolutely. Well, James, we better let you go because you're a busy man, and we thank you for joining us in the pre-game of this Eastland match of the round. Congratulations on a great playing career as well, and good luck today as well, mate.
Cheers, boys. Enjoy the show.
Thanks, James. The senior coach of Surrey Park joining us, and he certainly is a handy coach, a dual premiership coach as well, of course, and a dual premiership player, as will be joined shortly by the new senior coach of the Templestowe Football Club in Paul Fiorenza, replacing, of course, Nick Batsanis, and it's obviously a big loss, Batsanis, which it was discussed a little bit, but not a whole lot during the off season. It's going to be interesting to see if he changes too much over the course of the day, Davo.
Yeah, well, look, he was the assistant coach last year. It might have been a couple of years. Great footballer. He's not live yet, so I can say he was a great footballer when he played. But yeah, it is going to be interesting to see how that change occurs.
Apologies.
No, all good. Thanks so much for joining us, Paul, in the build-up to this massive game. What's the feeling amongst the group heading into this contest against Surrey Park?
Well, it's just a great contest. You want to be playing the best sides in your division to see how you're travelling. Yes, it's early in the year and there's a lot of rounds to go. But, we're ready for today. You've got to set yourselves for these sort of games. Yeah. And it's the way you learn.
Absolutely, and playing on ANZAC Day, hosting ANZAC Day as well, what must be that extra bit special as well?
Yeah, it's special to play on ANZAC Day. It's great that it falls on the Saturday. A lot of clubs get to do it, and to be this game with you guys here, it's even better for the club. You can just see it out there. There's just more people, perfect day, and just celebrating what the ANZACs did for us to actually be here today.
Well, Fia, congratulations on being appointed senior coach of a great club. You've been the assistant coach here for 1 or 2 years. With
2 years, yeah.
With,
Maybe 3,
with Batsy.
Yep.
You know the players well. And obviously, you're not coming from a base where you had to sit there and go rebuild because you've lost the grand final by 1 point. What have you had to do, and how have you put your imprint so far on this list?
Well, you always got to improve, right? You can't just sit where you are just because you made a grand final. Doesn't mean you're going to make a grand final this week. We have to recruit. We had a couple of retiree players as well, so you've got to bring some players in. You've got to understand how they play, and maybe a couple of tweaks to the game plan from last year because, you've got to evolve as well. So hopefully you see something, a little bit of a difference from last year in our game plan. And it's just the mental side as well, right? We're not just going to get there. Yep. It's you still got to work hard and you still got to do your job. It's not just we're not playing off in a granny because we played in it last year and lost by a point. So it's just, getting into the boys' heads about, this isn't just going to be a walk in the park to get to the grand final.
Can you give us a little bit of information on young Budge? I think he was an under-17s and he played for Marsland Old College, not Old College, for the school side last year. He's come up, he's playing on ANZAC Day, fantastic opportunity. Tell us a little bit about Budgie.
Look, great inclusion to the side. It was a late call-up, actually. We had a late withdrawal last week, and we saw him in a couple of bracket matches, he was great. He's just one of those kids that just takes his moments, and he did last week. There's a lot of areas we need to clean up with Budge, right? He's a young player, he's learning the game. But you can't ask for anything more than taking those moments of what he did. And he's got that little X factor in him. He's usually a half-back, but we've obviously put him up forward just to ease into an under-19s. It's always hard to come straight into half-back. Junior footy, you're a bit looser than you normally are in senior footy. So we just give him a taste, and he took his moments, and he's earned his spot.
Yeah, excellent. And speaking of one of the stalwarts in your team, Big Bo Mitchener, there was a bit said over the off-season with the new ruck rules and how he'd fare, but he's going at 74 hit-outs a game so far. How important is he to setting up your side and the way that you guys want to play?
Well, he's crucial, right? Look, we've got a great midfield and, they've still got a lot of work to do, but having Bo being able to tap where he needs to tap, and he's one of the great tap ruckmen I've seen, it gives you that extra edge in the midfield. Now, you don't want to get ahead of yourself too with Bo and just be running forwards and not. It's really keeping that structure well, but knowing that, it's going to be a 50-50 or we win most of the time with Bo. The ruck rule, I don't think's affected him too much. He can still jump. People don't think he can jump, but he can still jump. So don't just think he's a lug that just won't jump and try to body. You'll see in the first bounce, he's still got a leap.
I was going to say, I did see footage last week, and he did get a pretty decent leap.
Yeah. He's not too bad. I think everyone just pigeonholes him to be the bloke that won't jump anywhere and just run around the ground.
I think we're talking about the best 1-2 combination in the competition. All right, Mitch and Fogarty, and everyone knows about them. Everyone knows what they're able to do. The bloke who rarely gets the credit for doing a lot of great work, and I think he stepped up even bit more this year to take responsibility, is young Warren. How good has he been this year? I'm not saying he was poor at all last year, but his step up this year to really take that responsibility in midfield's been you must be really happy with what he's done.
He won our BNF last year.
Okay.
So that's how much we rate Josh, right? He does that role, great sweeper, great by foot, knows how to get the footy, and he's a goal kicker.
Yeah.
That's what you want from a midfielder. If you can play those two roles, be a goal-kicking midfielder. And Josh is still a young player.
Yeah.
He came from East Donny, but he's crucial to our side. He really is. And look, there's a few of them in there, but I'm glad you recognise that.
I think also just want to talk about the fact that most teams will sit there and go, we've got to stop Fogarty, and when Mariani was in there, we have to stop Mariani, and if Hardwick was in there, we had to stop Hardwick. Joshy kind of gets put out on the outside a little bit, and for him to now be standing up as well, hey, we've got to stop Warren now. I think that's a great credit to you and also to him and the way that he's come about.
Yeah, but Josh puts in the work.
Yep.
So you don't just get it from a coach or anything like that. He puts in the work and he tries hard. He watches his vision. His old man obviously helps with watching the vision, as you know, and we'll go on to Phil later on. But, he's getting the reward for the effort he puts in. And you're right with those players, don't forget Carl goes in there too. So that's the benefit we have of the on-ball brigade we have, that maybe one of them will get loose for the day and be able to take the game on.
Yeah, fantastic. And one of the guys that's come over this season, Marcus Young, has hit the ground running in all regards. 4 goals amongst the best on votes in both games so far. How do you look to maximise his impact as you go into this one today?
I just think he's just a smart forward. He can play anywhere, right? We knew that about him at East Burwood. He's coming into a side now where he was the number 1 on the board when you played East Burwood. Marcus Young, what do we need to do to stop him? We stop East Burwood. We're fortunate he's come into a side where there's a couple of other people that need to be stopped as well. So, again, it goes back to being able to get one of our main guys be able to play the game that can take it on. And I think it's helped in the game. And keeping him more forward is what he sort of wanted to do as well. And that's where we lost Brownie to retirement. And I think it's a great replacement.
And Ari Motta coming in as well. How much has he added to the midfield group, as it looks like he has spent a bit of time in there also?
Obviously, if you see in the first couple of rounds, it allows Mariani to stay forward a little bit more. So having that extra number in the midfield, you've got Esbury as well, that probably he doesn't get spoken about, Noah Esbury. He's tough as nails in there as well and can do a job on anybody. So you've got that group of people, and Ari just adds to that. Probably we've got the Bulls, we've got the Maz, we've got the Fogs, we've got the Carls. We had the Josh Warren, outside run. Now we've got the Ari, right? He's great on left and right. So now we've got those two. We've always got that skillful player in there with the Bulls.
I think what I see as the difference between Templestowe and nearly every other side is the fact that your midfielders go forward and kick goals. So I think, I'm going to give Batsy the credit. I think probably one of the moves of the year last year was round 1 putting Giovannini in the full forward to start the season off. Brilliant move because he's so strong, he's a good kick, he's a good mark, and he's smart. But the ability to be able to now throw him forward regularly and feel comfortable in the middle, Mariani forward, comfortable in the middle. You bring in the boy we just talked about, Young as well, goes forward. You become, and having Seedsman as a new one, you become a very, very potent forward line now, without talking about Fasanella, who if he gets off the chain, he suddenly kicks 3 in 5 minutes. It becomes a really different game for you, doesn't it, this year to previous years, I believe.
Yeah, and we also, Christian Chakula, who's a halfback, I've moved him forward this year. And you'll watch his pressure today and his attack on the footy, adds that element. We've got those players that you've got, but you need that player inside that forward line that can cause havoc on the ground, pressure-wise and just getting to the fall of the ball. So, we are fortunate with who we've got at the moment, but you've still got to play. That doesn't win you a game of football. The names don't win you a game of football. The team wins you a game of football. And if we can get them to gel and utilise each other and be selfless, that'll get us to win games.
Absolutely, and the culture around the club as well, because the netball has been introduced. You've got the 19s back as well, and they had a pretty decent effort against Surrey's 19s today, and obviously the reserves and senior women's going pretty well in Division 5. It must be great to be at Templestowe with the growing culture that it's having at the moment.
Thursday night was amazing. Right, Netball had their first game on Friday night, and Thursday night I've never seen the rooms with that many people inside them, ever, and I've been here since 2013. Which is great for the club. And the work that the committee's put in, Ryan Bain has obviously done a lot of work there too. It's a second to none to get to this club to where we are right now. And it doesn't go, we get the plaudits, we're just the coaches and that, but it's everyone behind the scenes, the canteen people, they're the glue to this club, and they're the ones that got all this up. And now the club's thriving with personnel. And you can't beat that. And the vibe, the Thursday nights, it's great fun. Everyone's having fun. It helps when teams are winning at the same time. Right? That helps with great culture.
Absolutely. It is a great culture, and it is great to be out here at Templestowe Reserve on ANZAC Day. So we better let you go, because no doubt you're a pretty busy man as well, Paul. Congratulations on being appointed Templestowe coach, and good luck for today's contest.
Thank you. And I've also got to give a plug to Power Coach, from Phil Warren, who actually makes me a better coach. So
yes.
I don't know if he talked to you about that, but
we did actually talk about that earlier today, and it is a great equipment as well. So
we've been very fortunate to have something like that. It helps me with game sense and what's happening in the game, and it actually can really help.
Absolutely.
How I coach.
Absolutely. Good luck today, Paul.
Thank you. See ya.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much for joining us. And he's excited to see what he can do this afternoon for Templestowe, which is a great club and a great culture now, Davo. It must be said that obviously the reserves not the success it's had in recent years, but you look at the seniors and you look at all the other programs. I'm pretty sure their netball won last night. It's a good time to be involved with the Templestowe Football Club.
I think you're seeing it right through all the different divisions and teams at the moment. The introduction of female football, the introduction of the netball competition, all clubs are wanting to introduce it because we've gone from a very male-centric environment to suddenly being what the community is, which is female and male, all in the one area. It definitely changes the culture within the football clubs, and it can only be better. And as he said, you've now got a situation where they're probably selling 100 meals on a Thursday night. We heard last week that North Ringwood, they had probably 150 meals on a Thursday night. It just helps with every single part. Those players turn up and watch the others. It's just really good and builds a good vibe. And if you do happen to be in a winning position, it's great. But it's also great for support when things aren't going great as well. You've still got those people turning up and helping, and you're not suddenly looking out on the ground and you've got 22 on a Tuesday night when it's cold and wet and no one else is there. I think it's really important.
Yeah, and you look at a club like Surrey Park as well, Chris, that has the netball program now over the last couple of years, the senior women's, the 3 men's side with their Div 4 reserves in conjunction with Forest Hill, and obviously a new look under 19 side. They're 2 clubs that are on the rise and certainly are going to continue rising over the next couple of years. Yeah,
and we've known for a while that Surrey have been probably one of the most all-rounded or well-rounded clubs with how many sides they get around each other and the multifaceted aspects of how the club is run and the teams that they can get up. So to see Templestowe, certainly I'm sure they'll be wanting to take steps in the same direction, but also looking to make their own identity. So I think it's very admirable. And like we've said, you get bodies around the club on a Thursday night after training, just creates such a better vibe, such a better atmosphere. And it helps the club as well.
Tell you what, it crams the rooms at Surrey Park on a Thursday night as well, which it looks a pretty big space out at Templestowe Reserve as well. But it is certainly a great culture for both clubs, and we look forward to seeing them both in action today. We're going to go shortly to our first break for this week's edition of the Eastland Match of the Round. When we return, we'll discuss a bit more about this game, plus some of the other games taking place around the grounds.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair.
Yeah, that's great.
Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprain your ankle bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home, at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The one thing that puts a smile on my face is my kids.
The sun shining through the clouds, even in winter, absolutely puts the biggest smile on my face.
Seeing delicious food on the table, ready for me when I get home.
One thing that always puts a smile on my face is seeing my family.
The thing that puts a smile on my face every time is really good music.
Just the simple pleasures in life.
Be remembered for the greatest moments in your life. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There are only 3 things that should be flushed down your toilet. Pee, poo and paper. Some wet wipes and antibacterial wipes say that you can flush them, but you can't. They clog up the toilet and pipes, causing expensive blockages. Save yourself a truckload of trouble. Put your wet wipes in the bin. To learn more, head to the Yarra Valley Water website, yvw.com.au/wet-wipes.
Hi, Dylan Dow from the Baroni Football Netball Club here. When I need to grab a quick coffee or a bite to eat, I'm popping into Eastland. Eastland's more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been a major partner of the EFNL since 2018. Cheers, Eastland.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Welcome back to Templestowe Reserve for the Eastland match of the round. Templestowe going up against Surrey Park. A huge Division 2 clash on this on the ANZAC day out here at Porter Street. Josh Ward here alongside Brett Davidson and Chris Cordes for the pre-game. We'll touch on some of the more important games across the divisions this afternoon. Of course, as mentioned, it is ANZAC Day. There was one game last night, which we'll touch on a little bit later, but we'll start with Premier Division, and I want to highlight, obviously, the traditional ANZAC Day clash between Blackburn and South Croydon, which is being played out at Morden Park, and it's troubling signs, of course, for South Croydon with two big losses against two sides who look at the top echelon of the Premier Division, and they're up against last year's runners-up and last year's minor premiers in Blackburn, Davo, at Morden Park. The challenges continue for Brendan Allen and his men.
So I think if you look at Brendan Allen, he will take today as, like, it's no such thing as emulating what happens in war, but he'll be taking the theme of the ANZACs seriously. He coached Blackburn for 8 years. He got them into finals every single year he coached them. He's got South Croydon into the finals the years he's coached them. They're 0-2, Blackburn at Blackburn, huge challenge. He'll certainly be up for it. His players will be up for it, but I still think Blackburn will win out there.
Chris?
Yeah, I think we know that South Croydon have had a tough start to the season, but I don't see it getting any easier at this stage. I mean, I just look at this game. I think Blackburn have too many routes to go. We know that Riley Stoddart's back in the side this week, so that's not going to help. But, I mean, looking at the numbers, you know, Blackburn have 6 players that are averaging over 5 scoring involvements a game, where I think South Croydon have 1. So, you know, if you're looking at it, and that one's Tommy Sheridan. We know how well he can play and how much he can help his side, but if you're just looking at it, when the footies are flying inside your forward 50 and they're coming from all angles from a South Croydon defensive perspective, they're going to be up against it a lot. So I've gone Blackburn for this one. Yeah,
I think most of us have tipped Blackburn, but South Croydon always perform on this day. I think it was a close result last year. They even won in 2024, where I think a lot of us then tipped Blackburn to get the job done out at Morden Park. An opportunity for them to get some momentum with obviously some players coming in. Michael Schwab for his South Croydon debut. Troy Maggs as well coming in. Still no Anthony Scott. But,
Liam Shields back for his first one this season.
Yeah, so a very handy inclusion. But as you mentioned, Chris, you bring in Riley Stoddart to an already strong midfield. It's going to be a tall order for South Croydon. The other games in Premier Division, just quickly. Baldwin take on Berwick at Baldwin Park. The Tigers looking to respond. South Belgrave, Doncaster East at Belgrave South. Noble Park take on East Ringwood. Vermont take on Roval. I don't see any other way other than East Ringwood, Roval, Doncaster East and Baldwin for myself.
Agree 100%.
Yep, I'm with you there.
Absolutely. But the South Belgrave Doncaster East game is an interesting one because it is the first time Doncaster East would have gone up to South Belgrave. And we saw last week Noble Park somewhat fell into the trap and struggled yet last week. But we'll touch on Division 1 and some of the interesting games there. I want to highlight Park Orchards, Montrose, both coming off losses. We were there, Davo, for the North Ringwood Park Orchards game, and they almost went to sleep in the second half. Not to sleep, but just lost a bit of spark, did Park Orchards, and were overrun by a young North Ringwood side and missed some opportunities as well. They'll be eager to respond with James Parsons back in their lineup as well.
And I think you look at, he's a great coach, Paris, and I think he will be really smarting after that loss last week. I mean, North Ringwood are excellent in the way they played out the game. Don't be surprised if Park Orchards come back to their best today.
Chris?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very interesting one. I've tipped Park Orchards, but I think really the thing that's going to swing this match is that midfield matchup. You know, we've got the likes of McLaren Spiteri for Park Orchards, who's going at 32 touches a game, and then obviously we know all about Montrose's Riley Collier-Dawkins in there, who's going at 30 a pop for himself as well. So I think really that first use out of the middle, or even just who can accumulate and get control of this game, is going to be a very interesting one. But I don't see this one being a wire-to-wire win for either side. I think this could have a fair few momentum swings, and this could be one where we're looking at throughout the day. There's going to be a few different storylines as it goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Montrose will be competitive. They have been competitive against Park Orchards over the years as we get the nod of approval from Blake Tennant. But I think Park Orchards, given it's a Domini, they've barely lost there since they've returned to Division 1. I think it would have been only one loss, and that came against South Belgrave last year in the opening round. So I expect they'll get the job done out at Domini Reserve, Chris.
Yeah, and they need to bounce back as well, Montrose. And obviously that loss last week was not what they wanted, not what anyone at the club would have wanted, really. So I think they're a team, Montrose, that I think have all the capability to make finals, that they've been known to just drop a game here or there. So they need to make a response here. Even if it's not getting the win, maybe it's keeping it close and pushing aside that a lot of us have voted to go to the premiership and to be in that grand final. Maybe it's just pushing them as far as they can today.
Absolutely. The other Division 1 games, Beaconsfield, Wanturna South and Moorbuck, Boronia are fascinating games. Danger games for both Boronia and Wanturna South, but I think we're all going to be in agreement to tip the Hawks and the Devils in those two games.
I'm not so sure with Boronia. They really miss Mitch Mellis.
Yeah,
and I think he's played with the Swans either last night or today or whatever it is. So they miss him a lot. But having said that, they're still a good side. And how can you pick Moorbuck? What do you?
Yeah, you can't pick him.
2 weeks, two completely different sides have run out there with the same name. So, I'm going to pick Boronia, but again, it's I'm not 100% comfortable with it, especially at Moorbuck.
Absolutely. I'm tipping Boronia, but hesitantly, I must admit. And then the other two Division 1 games, Mitcham Norwood, North Ringwood Bayswater, I think it's safe to assume we're tipping the Tigers and of course, North Ringwood after an impressive performance last week. A couple of debutants as well for them, Chris.
Yeah, just in another game. It'll be interesting to see what kind of performance Beaconsfield put up. Obviously, very close to taking a scalp against Boronia. We know Boronia haven't been terrific to start the season. We've mentioned that. I'm sure they'll figure it out. But just from Beaconsfield, obviously, Wanturna South coming up into the division, this really could be one that swings either way. I don't think that's an easy one to tip at all. I have gone Wanturna South, but if they put up a performance like they did last week, albeit probably minus the last 30 seconds to a minute or so, I reckon they could pick up a big win there and really get their season going.
Yeah, they certainly can. Division 2, of course, there was a game last night, as mentioned, out at Jubilee Park where Ringwood took on Heathmont and the Redbacks secured their first victory of season 2026, defeating Heathmont 11-3-69. Some sharp shooting out of Jubilee Park to Heathmont 7-9-51. Davo, you were at this game. What do you make of the contest between the Redbacks and the Jets?
I don't think Heathmont ever looked like they were going to win it. So they were always, they kicked the first goal, but they were always trailing after that and playing catch-up footy. Difference in the sides was that Ringwood's 4 best players for the night were the 4 best players on the ground. And then you could just about raffle the other 32 players on the ground as far as their performances. So it really was, and it was an interesting game. You talk about shootouts. They've kicked 11-3. They've had 8, I think, at least 8 out of bounds on the full from direct shots. And Heathmont have kicked 7-6-9 or 7-9 or whatever they kicked, 7-9. And they've had 6 out of bounds on the full shots as well. It was quite astounding to watch how many times they missed everything. Ringwood, just too good, and they are always going to be a difficult team to beat at Ringwood.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And one guy there that we should mention, Tom Jackson, back into the EFNL after time away and 3 goals. He's a big ruckman. We know how good he's been through that Premier Division and Division 1 experience that we've seen him have. And team really imposed himself on that game. He's very encouraging to see. But I think just another thing from Ringwood, you mentioned just then, they were the out of bounds on the fulls, but 14 scoring shots, 69 points is very good. But how many times are they going to put up 11 goals 3? You know, they've got a very good defence in this league, and we've seen them stack up very well against some of the stronger, shall we say, sides throughout the first 2 games. But I think the next step for them is starting to put bigger scores on the board more consistently. And obviously that's a lot easier said than done from where we sit here, but to have such a good defence, they really need to make it count with their offence.
And I don't think either side have got great forward halves, to be honest. I know Jackson's kicked 3. And I know they gave him both, but I thought Mullinger's effort against him was exceptional. He rucked nearly all night, Jackson. So And when Haddock went forward, he really didn't give them much. So it was guys like Bell, who probably played the best game I've ever seen him play. Young Heckley was a really good footballer. So they got their run from those sorts of players and really drove it in. And when they got it forward, they were able to hit the scoreboard. But I don't think there'd be too many sides looking at each of their forward lines worrying about them. I mean, Heathmont were a little bit undermanned. Bailey Stevens pulled out before the game, and there's probably one of the I think nearly the best small forward in the comp.
Yeah.
He's pulled out of the game, and another player pulled out of the game just before the start as well. So they're a little bit, undermanned a little bit, Heathmont. But I think, I've said this before. I think this competition, this division's probably got a top 3 or 4, and then a defined bottom 6. To be quite honest, and they're all very, very similar sorts of teams that use their home ground advantages. And who pops into the 5th will be the one who uses it best, I think.
It will be quite fascinating to see who falls into that 5th spot. But crucial for Ringwood to get the win this weekend. They've got Surrey Park next week, and then they face Croydon and East Burwood in the following 2 weeks, both the Jubilee Parks. So an opportunity for them to move to at least back to 3-3 potentially. They're 1-2 at the moment, and to get that first win after losses to Lilydale and Mulgrave in the opening 2 rounds is pretty handy. They're sitting 6th at the moment, obviously with the extra game in hand on Mulgrave, who take on Scoresby today at Scoresby Recreation Reserve. Lilydale face the Waverley Blues at the LSO, and then East Burwood will take on Croydon. So some fascinating contests in Division 2.
They're all 3 toss of the coins, because Lilydale play their ground very well, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're young and they run and they try and create. Mulgrave have started, they've had that sneaky start. They beat Ringwood at Ringwood, hard to do in the wet, did it well, and now they're going, they've got another big game today. They're a little bit of a sneaky one at the moment, Mulgrave. They keep all their midfield together. They're going to be pretty hard to beat at times.
They are.
Yeah, exactly right. And the other game you mentioned, Josh, Lilydale hosting Waverley Blues. I think for the Waverley Blues, we've seen them drop some games that maybe take them a step or 2 back in their hope for finals, where through all reports over the off-season and through pre-season has been that the Waverley Blues are ready to play finals footy now. This is one that has to be +4. It doesn't matter how it happens, but we know what Lilydale are like, especially at the LSO at their home turf. This is one where if the Waverley Blues are serious, it won't be the toughest opposition they play. But this is a danger game. This needs to be +4 by 5 p.m. today.
Yeah, it does.
Agree.
And Ringwood fell at that hurdle last week. It'll be interesting to see if they can carry that momentum into today. Lilydale and East Burwood Croydon as well is a fascinating contest at East Burwood. Croydon getting some handy inclusions. Adrian Ficcarilli, Cooper Holmes, a former Norwood man, coming into the side, and a former skipper as well. So some good names coming back in. They'll be more than up for the fight against an East Burwood side that have shown some promise in the opening 2 rounds of the season, both away from home. Obviously going down last weekend to a much-touted Waverley Blues lineup. And then, of course, we've got the game out here between Surrey Park and Templestowe into Division 3. I'd say the problem child of the EFNL. I'd say that mainly after what happened last week. Whitehorse Pioneers take on Donvale, Coldstream, Oakley District, Ferntree Gully, the Basin. Do we all back in Donvale, Ferntree, the Basin as well? Coldstream, Oakley District's a fascinating contest.
I reckon it is too. You've got a situation, one team coming off a win and then had a huge loss round 1. The other one, change of coach. Look, I think the change of coach phenomenon is not as big in local football as what it is in AFL football. So I think you're going to find a pretty good game of football, but I'd probably back in Coldstream.
Yeah, I'd too at Coldstream Reserve as well after a great performance last week, Chris.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm going to back in Coldstream. I think for Oakley District, it'll be interesting to see what they put forward and what they can produce, because obviously it's a bit of a trying time at the moment with what is going on at that club in the last couple of weeks or in the last week or so. So it would be great to see them put up a valiant performance today and maybe even snag a win. But if they don't, then it might be a bit too long between drinks for them.
Potentially, because they got a tough couple of weeks, and the rounds to follow, just getting their fixture up. The Basin away, Upper Gully at home, and then Knox at home before they have to bye. So this is probably their last opportunity to get a win. Although in saying that, Knox's form hasn't been the greatest.
No.
They have the bye this weekend, though, through the Falcons. And as mentioned, Ferntree Gully, the Basin, Whitehorse Pioneers, Donvale. I think it's safe to say we're all back in the Bears and the Magpies in those two games.
Yep.
And then finally, Sylvan Upper Ferntree Gully, which is become all the more fascinating the last couple of weeks, with Upper Gully losing to the Basin and Sylvan 2-0. Obviously, round one, a big victory over Ferntree Gully, and then an even bigger victory against Knox at Sylvan Rec Reserve. And I think a lot of us have backed them in today because Upper Ferntree Gully, no Travis Strange, no Mackay Bates, and two of their key movers out of the lineup. This is a great opportunity for the Cats to move to 3-0, Davo.
Oh, look, you've got the difference is that you can put two Sylvan grounds in one Upper Gully ground. So you've got a really big home ground advantage, and they play the ground so well. I've got to say, I've got to put a plug in for him. Trent Wynn's gone from, he played nearly every game in Heatmont's ones last year. He's gone to Sylvan, playing his first game in the ones today. So he'll be a handy midfield forward for them. But I think they're going to be too strong today. They're Upper Gully do like the space, and they're going to be cramped this week. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I think so. Chris, your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, well, it's Sylvan at home. We all know about that, so I've gone Sylvan. But, yeah, would love to see Upper Gully really put up a good fight here and really push them to the end.
Well, it was 1 point the difference when they met at Sylvan Rec Reserve last year, I'm pretty sure, from what I saw. So they're more than capable of taking it up to Sylvan. But as you mentioned, it is Sylvan at Sylvan, and that's always a tough ask. I don't recall a time where they've lost the game at Sylvan Rec Reserve. Not last year, of course, but not since they've gone up into Division 3. Into Division 4, Warrandyte, Forest Hill, Nuttawat, Kilsyth, and Fair Park, Croydon North Emlock's a night game at Fair Park Reserve. That kicks off at 6:30. So if you're around the area, get on down and catch that game. But the Bloods will be looking to bounce back. Kilsyth also looking to bounce back, and I reckon Fair Park continue on their momentum. Chris?
Yep, I agree with you there pretty much. You know, the night game, you know, there's a lot said about that, especially with Brash. Like, he's not in here, so we don't have to hear his breakdown on that again. But, yeah, I think Fair Park are just going to be the absolute powerhouse of this side, of this division, I should say. So, yeah, Croydon North, it will be actually, now that we say it, it will be a very, very good indicator to get a true idea of where they're at as a yardstick game. We know that Fair Park's going to be the benchmark, but we've seen this Croydon North Emlock side improve, and they've had a very good start to the season. I think this will tell us a lot about where they're at and where we can expect them to be at come mid to late August.
I think it'll be, it's them and Bulleen Temp. Whether they're fighting for 3 and 4, but they're definitely fighting for an area in that in the finals. And so this is, as you said, really good point. I think this is a game where we get to get a better idea about where they're at. I know it's only round 3, but it does give you a bit of an idea.
I think so, and they obviously got smacked by Bulleen Temp in round 1, but I think this is the biggest test of them all, especially after a fortnight ago, Chris, where Fair Park obviously got the job done against Chirnside Park, who, speaking of Chirnside, they're playing just down the road at Bulleen Templestowe today, which, again, all of a sudden has become a fascinating game with the Bullants 2-0 victories against the Kangaroos and Kilsyth away from home as well. They'll be up for the fight, Chris, out at Tedajani Reserve this afternoon against the Chirnside Park side that won quite convincingly in the end against a hyped Warrandyte side, it must be said.
Yeah, well, I think Bulleen Templestowe are hoping that Chirnside Park have got the anger out after that round 1 loss, but it will be a very interesting one. You're exactly right there, Josh. I think obviously Bulleen Templestowe, we've known with them coming into the competition last season, you know, we're starting to get to know a bit more about them. Their opposition's starting to get to know a bit more about them, but also they're starting to get to know a hell of a lot more about their opposition. So, you know, it might be one of those ones where it throws up an interesting scoreline. You know, we don't quite know what to expect, but I think for Chirnside Park, they'll be looking at this as a very winnable game. I also think for Bulleen Templestowe, though, they'll be looking at this and thinking this is one that we can nab, and this is one that will go a long way into helping us really cement ourselves in this division.
I think I'm kind of like nearly going Bulleen Temp because they've just got a little bit more foot speed than Churney. Churney are very, you know, they've got their targets, their structure's pretty good. But I think foot speed's an area that probably hurts them a little bit. It's an area that Bulleen Temp are pretty good. The boys have brought down the stickers from Baldwin last year. They're both cheeky, they're both hungry, they both run well. They both know where the goals are. And I think that's going to be a really interesting game. And if Chirnside aren't switched on, Bulleen Temple are the sort of side that will take advantage of him. And Tedajani's got a bit of a what would you call it, a home ground advantage again for Bulleen Temple. So wouldn't surprise me if they get up and win. Do I pick them? I'm not 100% sure yet. Got to give me a minute and a half to make my decision.
I'll probably back in Chirnside Park, but Bulleen Templestowe is certainly capable. 15 points separated Bulleen Temple and Chirnside when they met last at Templestowe Reserve as well. And that was back then when Bulleen Temple were probably still learning about the competition. It obviously gone up against every side once, but now was a great opportunity for them. I still think Chirnside Park, too much firepower in their forward line and will enjoy conditions like it is today. So expect them to get over the line. We might go to another ad break shortly before we bring in the call team, of course. Out here at Templestowe Reserve between the Dockers and the Surrey Park Panthers, we will have a pre-game ceremony as well, since of course it is ANZAC Day and ANZAC Appeal Round across all of footy, whether that be at the AFL where there'll be no doubt a packed crowd watching Essendon and Collingwood, or down in Tasmania where Hawthorn and Gold Coast are playing at the moment, or the Hawks, or at any other local footy ground. But a great discussion in the pre-game and great to chat with both coaches as well, Chris and Davo.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm keen to get out into the sun right now. I might get some sunscreen on and be on the boundary.
Absolutely. Looking forward to getting your insight throughout the day on the boundary, and you alongside Emily Mackay as well, Davo. We will go to our next break, and we'll bring in the call team after this for today's Eastland match of the round, Templestowe and Surrey Park.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her two young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. And let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The superpower I'd love for a day is to fly.
If I could have a superpower for a day, it would be to time travel so I could go back and see how life was when my parents were young and stuff like that.
Be mind reading. It's always good to know what other people are thinking.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, their superpower is always providing compassionate care to families at their absolute time of need. Get to know the team at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Hi, I'm Ben Desson from Montrose Football Netball Club, and when I need a new kit for a night out, I head over to Eastland. But Eastland is more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been major partners of the Eastern Football Netball League since 2018. Thanks, Eastland.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season. Bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Welcome back to Templestowe Reserve. Massive Eastland match of the round at Division 2 heavyweight bout between the Templestowe Dockers and the Surrey Park Panthers out here on this ANZAC Day for season 2026, where all clubs, except for Ringwood and Heathmont, of course, are playing on ANZAC Day. So we're looking forward to this contest. Josh Ward here. The call team has assembled for this game and riding shotgun with me. I've been looking forward to this all week to call alongside this man.
Gee.
Yes.
Not that special, Josh.
Oh, you are to me. You are to me. You are to me. The man rocking a decent set of shades as well. It must be said, and you can. And if you're tuning in on Facebook and YouTube, you'll probably be able to see it. It's the one, the only Big Bad Blake Tennant.
Yes, thank you, Josh Ward. Good to be here, Templestowe Reserve. Cannot speak highly on how good these conditions are.
Yeah.
On one of Australia's most special days to, remember what happened for the men and women who sacrificed their lives for our great country. And today we assemble on a game of football that we all love, and really proud to. I've even got my badge today to remember them, and looking forward to these glasses. Sponsored by TAB, looking after me today with these glasses. So always gamble responsibly, I should say.
I was going to say, it's you picked the right day to wear them as well, the TAB glasses. But no, looking forward to calling this game alongside you, and you as well, Dave. A great discussion in the pre-game about some of the other games taking place around the ground, and great to discuss or talk with both the coaches in the build-up.
Yeah, it certainly was, and I'm really looking forward to this game. I'm sponsored by the Seniors Association of Australia, so I just thought we'd throw in a few extra sponsors there. No. It's going to be a fantastic game, and I'm really looking forward to the fact that we have nearly not two completely different teams to last year, but gee whiz, there's so many changes between these two sides, and even as much as from last week. So it's going to be fascinating to see the chess pieces being moved by both the coaches.
Yeah, absolutely. And on special comments, once again, she has done a magnificent job the first couple of weeks. The Sandringham Dragons assistant coach, the former North Ringwood assistant coach, who's still got a big smile on her face after last weekend's North Ringwood victory. It's Emily Mackay. Great to have you back for this week's edition of the Eastland Match of the Round, Emily.
Yeah, absolute pleasure to be here. I love coming here because I get my tyres pumped up all the time. It's very, very kind. Really looking forward to this game. I had a friend play Division 2 last year, a very close friend of mine who gave me the goss on all of the Div 2 clubs, so it'll be interesting to see how accurate he is, and it'll hopefully be a good game. Top of the table clash. Yeah, fingers crossed. As mentioned, two of the best sides in Division 2, or the two best sides in Div 2 going head to head today. There has been a lot of discussion about them in the off season, about the improvements they've made, Dave. All of us had them in the grand final in our pre-season preview predictions. They're the only two undefeated sides left at the Division 2 levels, so we're really looking forward to seeing them this early in the season as well.
Oh, without a doubt. And as I said, you're looking at two very different teams. They're going to structure up very differently to what we saw last year. You've got, I think both teams have been hurt defensively during the year so far in the first 2 weeks, and definitely over the pre-season, because you've got Surrey Park have lost their fullback, has gone. Their vice captain has gone. And
the coach too.
And their coach. So they've lost a fair bit of that work. I know they've replaced with some good players. And then you've got Wootton and McSwain have both come out of the Templestowe team. So they're your two key defenders. And both sides are coming up against pack forward lines. Yeah. So it's going to be just a fascinating way to see how this works out.
See, the thing is, we always touch on it, the midfield, and unfortunately Surrey Park are without, the key ruckman who's been stacking up the premier data points.
Ben Woodfull.
Yeah, that's going to be a big blow. So Mitchener, can we see what happens with Ben Palmer? Can he step up? He's played 2 games for Surrey Park, so it's going to be an interesting battle, seeing how the two ruck duels go. We all know who Bo Mitchener is, let's face it. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to seeing how these two sides can go with the midfield. With Templestowe, obviously it will advantage Templestowe.
Yeah, absolutely. You might be able to see on the Facebook and YouTube screens, there is of course going to be a pre-game ceremony for ANZAC Day, so For all our Radio Eastern 98.1 FM listeners, don't tune the radio dial away if we do go to silence. There will be a moment's silence during this pre-game to, as mentioned in the pre-game, honour those.
Just quickly, did any of you guys go to a dawn service this morning? You can say no. You can say
No,
no.
I say no because I was up watching football and being 102 years old. I need my sleep.
Okay, there you go. No, that's perfectly fine. No, I went and saw a service. So.
Yeah, that's great.
Moving,
I did watch a little.
I'm so proud of you, Blake.
I did go to a little bit of a service myself as well up in Box Hill, but both teams are moving into position. You might be able to see on the screen the bugler or the trumpeter, and you can see the flagpole as well. Kate Green, of course, doing the women's game earlier today on the camera down there as well. So we will cross down shortly for the pre-game ceremony out here at Templestowe Reserve, which will be taking place all across Australia today, whether that be at the local grounds, at the MCG later today before Collingwood Essendon, down in Tasmania, in Perth as well. We're really looking forward to this pre-game ceremony as we might cross down to them shortly. Ryan, we see our boundary riders there as well as our media manager. As we might cross down shortly to the pre-game ceremony. So there will be a moment's silence as well for all our Radio Eastern listeners. Don't tune the radio dial away though, as we await the beginning of this pre-game ceremony out here.
We're just waiting on Ian Roadnight
at Templestowe Reserve, so we're just waiting
Waiting on the secretary.
Of
course, both senior.
Do you know who the person is, Lee? Top of your head?
Who? Sorry?
Who's doing the ode? And
I will grab that for you in just a moment.
Yeah.
We'll get that to you shortly, but both senior and reserve sides, the reserves game was a big victory for Surrey Park as well, close to 80-odd points, the margin, knocking off the Dockers 100, I think it was about 100 to 23 or something like that, so 2 from 2 today for Surrey Park in the men's side of things out here at Templestowe Reserve as we continue to wait for the secretary to commence pre-game proceedings, and you'll be able to see on the screen the Dockers lined up arm in arm alongside the Surrey Park players as well, and the umpires also. So
we have Rocky umpiring today.
Yes.
I think he is one of the best umpires going around because he's an ex-player. He knows how to talk to him. He's really good.
I was going to say, did he do this game because it's a match of the round? Or?
He could have done a Dean O'Neill.
Yeah.
He loves the spotlight.
I'm surprised he's not here as well. Tino, of course, doing a great job as the footy ops manager of the Eastern Football Netball League. As proceedings are just about to start out here. Of course, one of the greatest parts in the build-up to an ANZAC Day game. It sends shivers down your spine.
I was at the Richmond-Melbourne game last night.
Just very, very quickly, the welcome the reading of the oath by Paul Richards, President of the Templestowe RSL.
Welcome to the Templestowe Football Club ANZAC service. Welcome to the President of Surrey Park, Rowan Sutherland, and his committee and supporters. Thank you for all playing to take part in this game today. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I was going to say put your hands together for me, but don't worry about that. I'm Paul Richards. I'm President of the Templestowe RSL, and thank you. And I've been asked to come here this afternoon to perform the ANZAC service for you prior to your seniors game. We don't have a reef, do we?
No.
Don't? Okay. All right. Okay, let's... I just wanted to make a short speech concerning you guys out there who play this game. And I wanted to relate to what the boys did on the 25th of April, 111 years ago at Gallipoli. Today I direct your short address to you young players and relate it all of the young men who went off to war to fight for our freedom. Your team is about to go to battle for those magical points for the ladder. Your You're both on top, aren't you? Just about 1 and 2, I believe. What are you feeling? Are you feeling nervous, sweating, asking yourself, will I do a good job? Will I follow the game plan? Get injured? Make mistakes? We all get that support from my mates and so on. All those feelings you may have or may not let go. At the end of the game, you either win or lose, and hopefully there's not a draw. Then you have a drink, a chat, a debrief, and go home to a nice comfy bed in the evening. Now put yourselves in the shoes of those young diggers of your age and a lot very younger, jumping off boats and charging up the slopes of Gallipoli under fire. How would you feel? How would you felt? What were you thinking before the battle? Possibly similar to things of yours today, but with one big difference. Their thoughts were about life and death. Will I be killed or wounded? I would say they would be very nervous. So if you think you're having a hard time at any stage, just give a thought to those diggers and what hell they went through. There were 308,000 troops, the Australian Imperial Force, AIF, who went to World War I. That was a population of only about 4.5 million people, not even the size of Melbourne today. Very small population for a huge country. Unfortunately, 62,500 never came home. It's a lot. That equates to 1 in 5 were killed. So if you look at you guys there now, count 6, or if you count 5, one of you would not be coming back home. However, there are always positives that come from disasters such as Gallipoli. One is the qualities of the Australian soldier that was formed from the war and passed on to the civilian life, thus making the Australian character. Now those qualities, and it's worthwhile noting, endurance, courage, ingenuity, a little bit of dog, good humour and mateship. And you might throw a bit of larrikinism in there as well. Scallywags. So I guess take these qualities and put them in your DNA. They will keep you in good stead through life. Finally, I just ask one thing to you today and any ANZAC Day. Just remember all those diggers who went charging up the slopes of Gallipoli and many other battles to fight our wars so we can be free and to do all of those things we want to do in a democratic country such as ours. Be able to play that wonderful game of Aussie rules, they should never be forgotten. May the best team win today. I will now go on to the ode, the last post, the moment's silence, the rouse, and then the national anthem. There will then be a toss of the coins by the captains, and then the senior game starts. Everyone stand. If you've got hats on, it would be nice to take them off in honour of the fallen. They shall grow not old, as we the left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. lest we forget. Thank you, Robbie Dawson, for the trumpet playing. We'll now go on with the national anthem and get stuck into the game.
Lest we forget a brilliant...
Can we have the umpires and the two captains to toss the coin, please?
A brilliant pre-game ceremony by the Templestowe Football Club and the Templestowe RSL. As mentioned, it is always such a moving part of the pre-game, the build-up to any ANZAC Day game, Davo. And you would have seen it plenty of times at any sporting game. It moves you a lot, doesn't it?
Oh, it certainly does. And look, I've been lucky enough to be standing out there for probably 15 or 20 times in these ceremonies. That was a particularly long ceremony.
Yeah.
So it does have an impact on a couple of things that people may not realise. When you've got to stand there for so long in the heat, and it is a warm day today, it has that little bit of an impact on you. And the second thing is, it's been a heck of a long time since the coach has had a talk to the players to when they actually come out and play the game. So what really is important is that the leaders get them all together and remind them about whatever the focus is that they have at the moment. Really important for both sides to see that.
Sure is, and we just got the result of the coin toss, and Surrey Park will be kicking to the left of your radio dial to the hill end of Templestowe Reserve, Templestowe to the right or to the Porter Street end, and we will go down boundary side for the first time today to Chris Cortis and Jared Bainland. Welcome, Jared.
Josh, out here today, wonderful weather, bit of breeze, it's going to but other than that, today, and yes, as you said, Dylan win the toss and will be kicking to the left of the screen.
And your tip, I don't know if we quite got that before.
My tip today will be Templestowe by 2 goals.
Chris, we'll cross down to you, having a delightful chat, no doubt, with Ryan Long, our illustrious leader. Chris, who are you backing for this game?
Yeah, I'm going to...
Oh, he's a good man, Chris Cortis. He's a good man. Emily Mackay, Brett Davidson, I'm going to you for your tips for this game.
Well, I want to know, who does Blake think's going to win?
Well, it's in the record. I'll tip Templestowe.
Well, I'm going to pick Surrey Park.
What's the go here? Do you just go the opposite of what I go with?
Oh, you're finally picking up what I'm putting down, Blake. Yeah. It's taking you a while. That's okay.
It's only taken a week.
Sorry, guys. Radio mic should be working now if you want to give them a go.
Well,
I don't think we heard you.
I think we did get a little bit of that before, but we will cross down to them throughout this game. Davo, your tip for this one?
I would have picked Surrey last week, but I'm going to go with Templestowe. I just think Surrey's got a few players out that really do hurt them, and I have to say that Chris Cortis is the coolest looking boundary rider we've seen for a long time. Have a look at that. He's got the sunnies on, sitting back. He's put the sunscreen on, and I think he's going to have a relaxing day.
I think he might be.
Now, we want to see, who are you tipping? Are we going to be surprised?
I'm going to leave that unspoken.
Are we going to be surprised?
No. So I tipped Surrey Park in the record. I'm sticking with them as well. But you're right. He's the coolest looking man on the boundary. He's not the coolest looking man today, though. That goes to my co-caller for today. But both sides are all set for this Eastland match of the round. It's going to be Ben Palmer going up in ruck against Bo Mitchener out here at Templestowe Reserve to start things off out here. In the Eastland match of the round, and it's Palmer with the tap down, looking for Leidler. Got the handball out to Garvin. Garvin, the check side, near forward 50, went over the top of a couple of Templestowe players. Ball locked up. There is Joseph Keogh, who's tackled, and we'll have a ball up in the defensive half of Templestowe. So Surrey Park, the first clearance, the first ruck tap down to young Ben Palmer in only senior game number 3. Goes up against Mitchener, who easily won that down to Fogarty. Into the middle of Templestowe Reserve he goes. The mark taken by Giovannini. Goes inboard with a dangerous kick. Still worked out to his teammate, who chips it over the top to Triculia, who has open space. Couldn't complete the grab. The kick went off the deck, and it's out of bounds in some...
No, I think it's a free kick to Templestowe.
Well, it might be a mark, in fact, to the Dockers. It is, and it looks like it's...
Mark Seedsman.
Yes. Of course, a former officer man, and a former Oval man, Mark Seedsman. So, on a 45-degree angle, he'll kick this from his Templestowe debut last week. Didn't impact the scoreboard in a major way, but knows how to find the big sticks. 114 senior games for 164 goals. So, from about 25 metres out, he'll kick from. We've got a perfect view of this set shot. He misses to the right. Templestowe have the first score of this Eastland match of the round, but it is just a minor one. A minute and a half gone here. Templestowe 1 behind to Surrey Park. Yet to score, Blakey.
Yes, Templestowe have already set the game to what they know for. And how about that hit out from Mitch in the early stages of this game, which is great. So Can will take this kick in for Surrey Park's first look and finds that man. He's got the Slim Shady sort of haircut, and Jack Mann, he plays on immediately. He's had a terrific season, and that might have been pushing the back, and it's going to be a ball up. Already the big boys are in the game already, and it is going to be pushing the back, and it's going to go to Surrey Park's Jack Woods. Oh, I believe won the best and fairest last year, Josh.
Last 2 best and fairest.
There you go. So he definitely knows how to rack him up as Box gets the one, kicked it to the outer side wing where we are on the broadcast end. Surrey Park looking to go into attack. First real look, we get a look of them. Glare gets a short kick on the pocket end of Surrey Park's attacking 50, and that's just going to roll out for a boundary throw-in. Cannot speak about how good these conditions are. It's you can't get any better than this. It's like a nice autumn summer day.
I was going to say, it is like a summer day out here, Blakey.
It is. The 2 rucks going at it. Mitchener just pushes him out the way. Marn looking for and it's going to be a free kick, so we're going to go back. So Palmer will have this one. He just gets it outside the forward 50. It's a good-looking kick if this could sit. Oh, that's a goal, I think. It is. And they get into Big Bone Mitchener. Palmer, what a start that was in his second game. And what a great confidence booster that will be for the ruckman.
First senior goal as well for Ben Palmer, crossing from St Kevin's Old Boys this season, Davo.
Yeah, look, I'll be honest. I hope they don't start doing that, because that's just a ruck contest.
Yeah.
That was just good body work, but a great kick from Palmer. Interesting to see that Zukowitz has gone to Smith down in the forward line. So Zukowitz lining up on Smith. I haven't picked up yet who is lining up on Dylan Williams.
Go back up in the middle. One matchup I did see before you. Ashwin has got Jamie Glare for company as Mitchener won it down to Fogarty inside forward 50. No mark taken by any Templestowe player. It's locked up around the half-forward flank for the Dockers on this broadcast side, and it's going nowhere. So another ball up will take place.
So I expect to hear that called a few times, Mitchener to Fogarty.
I think we've heard that for the last how many years? It's been a long time.
It's been a fair few years. As back up we go. Box in ruck now. Won that down looking for Laidler, I should say, and we'll go down boundary side to Jared Beanland.
Thanks, Josh. Just to add to some of those matchups, we've got in the Templestowe forward line, James Box has gone to Seedsman. Rambaldi's gone to Mariani. Jack Woods is following Carl Giovannini, who's floated forward.
Thanks there to Jared for joining for those comments. As Palmer won it down, and there's a holding the ball free kick against Matty Mariani. And it is the Panthers through Garvin, who's had a lively start. Handballed it to Laidler. Goes down the line, searching for Glare. Couldn't complete the grab. Applied the tackle, though. Umpire circling, and we'll call for it. As we go down again, boundary side shortly. In fact, we won't for now, as we'll have prime view of this stoppage out here right in front of us. In front of one of the best camerawomen in the business, Megan Green, as Palmer won that big fist down. Glare couldn't get a clean handball away, and is ping for holding the ball. Josh Warren with that free kick. Goes in board, flirted with danger, the kick. The mark not taken there by Zukowitz. Hard pounces, got the kick away, but it'll be cut off here by Jackson Lee. Onto his right, inside forward 50. The intercept mark taken by Jack Woods. As you mentioned, Blake, the 2-time reigning best and fairest for Surrey Park. looks for options, will just go short. And it's a good kick over the top too hard. Could take a bounce if he wants to, decides not to, goes instead near forward 50 where Williams is. Couldn't take clean possession. They're under pressure from Jackson Lee. He applies the tackle as well on Adrian Giovannini, and we'll have a boundary throw in right half forward flank for Surrey Park, right in front of the club rooms out here at Templestowe Reserve.
Yes, it is. These are Rezzy's boys. I can just see him in the background. There's a big hit out there by Surrey Park. And where's this going? It's going to be a free kick. And it's going to go to the Panthers. And Samuel Hart, different look for Sammy Hart. I've known him as a short hair, but he's got the long locks and a moustache as well, I've noticed.
I was going to say, I think he's had the moustache for a little bit, but spending a bit more time in the midfield, Sam, of course, someone who
from Blackburn.
Can of course play up forward as well and kick some great goals, Blakey.
So Hart looks all right, and it's going to be drifting to the right for a behind. So I thought he had the distance, Sam Hart. It looked that way, and that moves the score to Surrey Park, 1-1-7 to Templestowe, one behind.
Just asking the boundary riders, is a bit of breeze going to that area, because that certainly carried a long way from where he was.
Yeah, it's definitely coming across the ground towards us. I'm not sure what it's like down there at that ground necessarily, but it is pretty strong.
As the kick in was taken by Ashwin, Sardis under immediate pressure from Ebzeri.
So it's a right to left down at that end.
It does pick up from time to time. We did notice it in the van before. It is obviously would be different on ground level. It's palm of the fist from behind. Mitchin has still got front position, and it went out of bounds right in front of the grandstand between wing and half forward for Surrey Park, who have had a bit of the territory. So have Templestowe as well. 1-1-7 plays. Templestowe one behind, 7.25 minutes gone. First quarter of this Eastland match of the round as Mitchell got good position. Palmer might have won it down. Got the handball away to Contraneo. To Mann. Has Hart on the outside. Inside forward 50. Williams is there. Might bounce through for a behind. It does.
Really enjoying Mitchener's ruck work. He gets front position all the time.
Yeah.
It's just tapping right in front. So it's pretty easy to crumb. Pretty easy for both teams to be able to see where the ball's going to go.
He's probably got the best. He's had the best hands for a ruckman in this competition for 5 years.
Oh, 100%.
He's been amazing.
So Zukovic can try put Templestowe into the attack, finds his teammate in Keogh. So Keogh's going to slow things down for the Dockers. Surrey Park 1-2-8, Templestowe one behind. We've gone in the first quarter, just started. The Dockers looking to go slowly, but that's not a great kick, and at first to probably get there would be Monks, but a hand pass, that was by Ibrahim. And the Dockers looking to go back in the attack. Just a slow defence here. They're going pretty slow. Spoiled by Mann. First to pick it up there will be Eri Motta. Goes short to Giovannini. He's having a great start to the season. And here go the Dockers in Warren. The vice-captain gets it in forward. Tries to find his teammate in Marcus Young. But first we'll get there will be Sardis from Surrey Park. And the ball's just going to drift away. Dockers around, plenty of Surrey Park jumpers involved. The first to try and pick this one up will be Ibziri, and that's just going to roll out for a boundary throw-in.
I was really impressed with that passage of play on the broadcast side. The low flat trigger kicks, really, really hard to intercept. Once a ball gets popped up, it's easy to defend, and that's why there was a turnover. But it was a really nice play by Templestowe there.
So Mitchell in the ruck, going against Palmer. Palmer sort of got that win there, which is what he wanted. Good tackling by the Surrey Park folks as well. First to pick it up will be Contraneo. The Surrey Park looking to go inside the forward 50. A short kick, almost dropped it. They should have marked there. That was by Oscar Knives. Retrieves it, does a hand pass. Slowing things down is Templestowe. They're looking to go in the attack. They're at the centre of the ground, but they kick it into the broadcast end where we are. If this can sit on the right bounce with Fasanella, he picks this one up. Hand passes it around. Tackle is laid. Giovannini through it, and that's going to be a free kick going to Surrey Park.
We go down boundary side to Joe Beelan.
Just to answer a question from before, the man with the big job on Dylan Williams is Jackson Lee. And incidentally, I'm really liking Jackson Lee's game so far. He seems to have a lot of endeavour to come up and affect the contest. Doesn't really mind Williams dropping off of him as long as he affects it.
Garvin couldn't complete the mark after the free kick from Woods. He got it to Mann. Mann back to Garvin. They work this out through hands. Surrey Pruden. Kick was smothered. Templestowe should have the numbers, but they fumble the ball through Keogh. Got a handball away to Warren. Warren got it out to Ibrahim. Dabbing ball. Works out to Young, whose kick was smothered by Nick Cairn. Keeps it in play. Does the former East Burwood man. Will get this handball back and look to launch the Dockers into attack, but his kick was interfered with and out of bounds on the fall. The free kick to be taken by James Box, the former Vermont and Olinda Fernie Creek man. Lateral he goes to Ramboldi, of course the former Doncaster skipper, to Joanne Delaney. Goes down the line where he's got an option all by himself, and Paskowski has time to compose himself and pick it up cleanly. Chipped it over the top to Williams working his way up the ground. It evaded him and bounces out of bounds for a boundary throw-in right near the club rooms, bang on centre wing, far side of Templestowe Reserve.
I don't think they'll mind if Williams is getting the ball up that high on the ground. And the one thing about putting young Lee on him is he's got the tank to be able to go with him.
As we'll ball this back into play right in front of the Australian flag. Out here at Templestowe Reserve as Mitchener again won that tap down. Smith applies the tackle there on Noah Zeri, the deputy vice-captain of Templestowe. And we'll have another ball up between wing and half forward for Surrey Park, who lead 1-8. Templestowe one behind at the 11.5-minute mark of this first quarter. As Palmer again couldn't win that down. Mitchener tapped it down to Mann, who was locked up immediately by Mick Fogarty. Two former Doncaster men going head-to-head there as Mitchener tried to thump that forward. Ebzeri did, but was intercepted by Garvin. Garvin's handball was an errant one to Chukulia. Mann looking for a holding the ball free kick, nothing doing, and another ball up will take place. Still about 11.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter as Palmer and Mitchener go up, and it's Mitchener who won it down. Smith thumped it forward for Surrey Park, near forward 50. Fallahay was there, got the handball out, and the shot from Knight will go to the goal square, be rushed through brilliantly by Giovannini, who was keeping Hayden Telford company. So Surrey moved to 1-3-9, Templestowe the one behind. 12 minutes gone, first quarter, Blake.
Yes, Surrey have really looked the more attacking team. Haven't really had a good entry, have the Dockers. I'm sure more to come as Paparonis gets it inside to the club end sort of arc, and Jack Mann, no, it will be kicked to Carl Giovannini. Goes to the skipper in Michael Fogarty. He's been a great servant for this club. And pass laid, that was by Mariani.
That was such a clever kick for a big man on off balancing.
And the Dockers could be out here with Zukovic, gets it inside forward. 1-1 in the area there. And well done, that was by James Box. He's been a key recruit for the Panthers this off-season.
Another former Surrey Park junior, Blake.
So 1 pointer, which is even better, which is what you want to see. So the umpire will throw this bounce up just on the pocket of Surrey Templestowe's attacking 50 here. And another tackle laid, but gets a kick, the little dribble kick. First to get there will be, and that's going to be a goal. It is a goal, but it's number 14, I believe.
I don't think we have a 14.
Yeah, we don't have a number 14. So if our boundary reporters can get that one, number 14 for Templestowe. So
that's a good goal for Templestowe.
Yes, it is. I should have said that, but yeah. So that's their first look at the day. 1-1-7 to Templestowe. Surrey Park 1-3-9. We've gone 13.5 minutes into this first quarter.
So that was a goal out of nothing.
Yeah.
Complete. But what I have liked, what Em's said about before, I'm liking the way Templestowe are moving the footy short through the middle, trying to get transition footy that way.
Mitchener won that down to Mariani. Kick was smothered by Smith. Deflected to Garvin, who applied the tackle on Mariani in the trenches as he usually is. But as Paul Fiorenza mentioned in the pre-game, is only part of the midfield rotation. Of course, spending a bit more time up forward as Palmer won that down. It's out the back for the Dockers, who chip it over the top to Ari Motta. Can try to affect the spoil, couldn't. And it's centre wing broadcast side. Ari Motta dancing his way past Can. Dabbing ball is a good one. Found his teammate in Chukulia, who looks to go inside forward 50. Kick was again smothered. Leidler, the beneficiary, got it to Garvin, who smothered it before, to Pruden, sporting the zinc today. That's how warm it is out here at Templestowe Reserve and across Melbourne as Garvin got it out to Smith. Smith tried to find his teammate who was taken out of bounds there in Blake Leidler as we go down boundary side. I was going to say we might be having some troubles and we might continue to be having troubles as well, but We'll have this ball in right in front of the Surrey coaches box. 3-0. So it is Joel Budge wearing the number 14 today for Templestowe. This ball is going to be a high free kick to the Dockers. Of course, Budge, a late inclusion for his senior debut last week, and the free kick in the meanwhile will be taken by Christian Chukulia. Looks to send the Dockers into attack, but it's a shank and goes out of bounds on the full.
Look, I know Templestowe haven't had too many forward entries, but they're really dictating the way the game's set up. They're very well structured. But Surrey just happened to get the run, and they're bombing that ball along down the line, which is allowing them to get more shots potentially on goal.
Well, right on cue, they did that and turned it over, and happy to see it over the boundary line is Adrian Giovannini. One of 3 Giovanninis playing today.
Yes.
Of course, Ryan and Carl both had terrific seasons and part of that grand final side, and will be key for Templestowe's game today and their premiership charge, as well as Mitchener, another key factor. One that tapped down, but straight down the throat of Smith, who was locked up by Mariani.
I get scared when I see Mariani hit players like that. He come out and hit Garvin before, and now then he's a beast.
Mitchener took matters into his own hands, long down the line where it's intercepted by Chris Sardis. Had a few possessions early on. That wasn't his greatest. We'll get this ball back. And getting it away there was Jack Woods, looking for his good mate in Nick Can. Can't keep it in play, and Can is not too happy about that. We'll have a boundary throw in. Some good pressure there from Ari Motta.
I think their pressure's been excellent at the moment, Templestowe. They've made Surrey Park make some unforced errors just from real pressure.
Mitchener just chucks him out of the ruck. You'd be seeing that as Ibrahim goes around.
If he's not front position, he's just using body.
Yeah. So tackle was almost late. Ibrahim gets it back, finds his teammate Eri Motta. And here come the Dockers. Great kick. Ibuzi tries to go, finds his teammate. The ball's just going to roll for Surrey Park, and they do that. They clear it outside their defensive 50. They were in the outside wing. And a tackle was late. It's going to be a ball up.
Is the ball flat? Because there's been some absolutely shocking kicks not under pressure.
Yeah. Just seen before on the outside, pretty average kicks. Smith in the ruck. You don't really see that as Fallahay is around this one, but tackled there and be another ball up. So it looks like it's going to be a stoppage game in this afternoon's play. Top of the ladder clash. 2 very good defensive teams and attacking it. It's both, which is what you want to see. Oof. And geez, they try to go for the old, just a little jump. So it is. WrestleMania was last week.
Ken Worthy did say Ben Palmer can leave, and that was a bit of a leap there, Blakey.
Yeah, as a mark is taken by Sam Hart. New change of look for Sam Hart, coming from Blackburn last year.
Had a decent start to this game.
Yeah,
Hart.
and he's been a pretty good recruit for Surrey Park, as well, as you said, Josh, into the midfield and holding free, and it's going to go to Surrey Park. Surrey Park supporters are happy about that one. Only counted maybe 2 there, Josh. As play resumes and they get it inside the forward 50. Who's going to get this one? Skipping it up will try be in Cotronio, but it will be raced out for a boundary throw-in. Approaching time on, 18.5 minutes into this first quarter.
Surrey are really taking their chances by having to bomb the ball long down the line. It's risky football, whereas I'm really enjoying Templestowe's game. It's a little bit more methodical.
And that might be something Ken Worthy highlights at the quarter-time huddle. He is someone that, and Surrey Park are a side that certainly don't mind the ball just taking possession of the footy and looking for those short options, as we'll have a boundary throw-in.
I think that's where Tempe have been good. They've really created pressure around that short kick, so they've only had the long kick option.
Ball tossed back into play, right half forward flank for Surrey Park. Palmer was there. Smith also around it against Ari Motta. Fallahay dug a handball out, but it was to no effect. Is there going to be a holding the ball? Free kick? No.
One of the other things I'm liking about Templestowe is that they've either got a spare man down back or they've got the outside of the contest, so it's really hard for Surrey to be able to get that short, as you were saying.
As Mitchener got the handball away, ineffective, so Williams chucked it inside forward 50. Mundy, a good pickup. Wheels onto the left. Misses everything.
Trying to go for the hero move there, Mundy.
Pretty sure all of their shots on goal have been from some kind of stoppage or contest like that. Pretty messy footy.
It just shows the defence from Templestowe.
Yeah, it does. As we might go down boundary side shortly. think we got the signal before.
I think that was touched off the boot, so that's why they're balling it in.
Okay.
So left forward pocket for Surrey Park. Another opportunity for them, leading by 2 points. We're into time on. 20 minutes gone first quarter as this ball locked up once again.
Whoever is on Smith has got to be really careful, though. Don't allow him out the back of this contest, because this is where he's really handy.
Telfer going up in ruck. It's Michener, tapped it down to Contraneo, who might have kicked it.
And he'll certainly let everyone know about it too. He doesn't mind a little bit of a chat, young Dante. So, clever goal, rucked the Templestowe ruckman. So, yeah, did very well then.
Great effort from Dante Contraneo. His 6th senior goal as well, and only his 7th game at Surrey Park. 2-3-15 to Templestowe 1-1-7. Nearly 21 minutes gone, first quarter, Blakey.
Geez, they're getting it stuck into Michener. What have they said during the week?
I think he's been used to that for a long, long time.
I was going to say.
If you've ever been out there, he's a weird cat. He does not mind it. He'll be talking to them as well.
So Michener in the ruck going against young Box. Box sort of got the hit out there. And Templestowe looking to go for the clearance. And here come Young. Marcus Young had a good start to Fogarty. Can line up for the Dockers. And that's a terrible kick. You don't see that from a champion in Fogarty, do you, Davo?
No,
well, last year in the grand final, he's the one who put the whole team onto his back and said, I'll win it for you in the last quarter, which he nearly did.
So Can have this one on the broadcast side. Just kicked that last goal there in Knights. Sorry, Contronio kicked that one. Smith picks it up on the boot, gets it inside the 450. 1-on-1 now. Tier to get it there. Would be Fallahay. Snap around the corner. And it's going to drift to the right. It's going to be through for a behind. So Surrey Park have had all the dominance this quarter. 2-4-16 to Templestowe 1-1-7. We've gone 22 minutes into this first quarter.
And you wouldn't expect Fallahay to miss a goal like that either. That's his bread and butter.
Yeah,
it is.
I reckon it's a tale of two games at the moment. Surrey Park with that run and carry long down the line, just try and win the ball on in front. And then we've got Templestowe with a way more tempo style.
A bit slow,
game.
aren't they? Do you feel that way too with the movement with the ball?
Tempe?
Yeah.
I think actually it can appear slow, but I think it's also quite methodical as well. So there's nothing wrong with that. They just need to probably, once they get halfway up, is to actually run and carry the ball a little bit more and get a bit more pace on it.
Surrey have a free kick for an out of bounds on the full after that kick in from Paparonis, deflected off Young Speed, and is in the hands of Joseph Aiden Delaney. He goes long inside forward 50. A big fly there from Lee. Templestowe should have the numbers on the ground, but the shot on goal might have been through. It is Oscar Knight. That might have been who kicked the goal. It is Oscar Knight, and he is a bit ginger after that as well. The young 17-year-old with his first of today, his 5th senior goal and only his 3rd senior game as well. Surrey Park moved to 3-4-22. Templestowe 1-1-7 at the 23-minute mark.
Well, that's taking the opportunities when they're there. They've both had now 2 snaps out of a contest. Goal, they're quality goals. They're the ones you need.
We might go to boundary.
It's got me.
Yep.
Yep, we've got you.
There we go. Hello. So,
It's back.
just a quick observation. Surrey Park's Jamie Glare is sitting on a pretty hard tag with UU Ashman.
I think that's what mentioned in the pre-game is the Dockers again looking to go in the attack. Plenty of numbers around this one, but spoiled that one. That was by Aiton Delaney. This is good ball movement by Surrey Park at this stage. If this kick goes well, that was by Sartis. And Mundy. New look for Mundy too. What's going on with these Surrey Park?
Yeah.
They're just going with a new trend this year.
Marnco and Beach Blonde, Mundy the buzz cut.
So Mundy would get things going forward for Surrey Park. And this one's going to be wrapped up. There might be a dragging in. Nothing called. So plenty of Surrey Park faithful letting them know what's going on here.
Did a new hairdresser open up near the Panther Pit?
Yeah.
I think it might have actually, which I might need to pop my head into soon.
So there's a hit out for Surrey Park. That was by Box. And it's going to be wrapped up again. Surrey Park are very voice-led. Their voices know. The Rezzies boys looks like they had a good win, so they're up and about.
Well, when you look at it, Smith won the medal last year with basically a mullet, so the other boys are getting in on something to hopefully get some more votes.
As the 2 rucks going at it, Michener gets a tap but gives it to Mahn. Mahn does that, gets smothered away, and tackle laid. And it's going to be another ball up. So we've gone 25 minutes in to this first quarter. The Panthers are leading by 15 points after a fast start. They're a fast-moving team with Templestowe a bit slower, and it's going to be a holding free, and it's going to go to Bo Mitchener. He called for it, Bo. He's probably going to add this to his another stat list for today's game as he goes for the short ball to Fasanella. He had a great game against Surrey Park last year in the match of the round that we did at Surrey Park. Would have got the nod for the Eastland voucher. I'm sure we'll find that at the end of the game. Surrey Park in the middle of the ground. They go inboard. Ball's racing away. And getting there was Hayden Telford. He's having a great start to his Surrey Park campaign. And here go, chain of hand passes for Surrey Park in Pruden. Smith around the corner. And it's going to go out of bounds on the full to the right. And it's going to be a Templestowe free kick.
Pruden is Surrey Park's Norse recruit from South Belgrave last year. Played on the wing.
Yes.
Don't think he played in the grand final. He's going to hate me. He's going to listen back. He's going to hear that.
For South Belgrave, is that correct?
Yeah, so it was a good pick up by Surrey Park.
Yeah.
Taking on a coaching role as well to help out some of the younger players out at Surrey Park, Jack.
Yeah,
so,
I think that was part of his want of going there as well.
So Stefan Paparonis will take this free kick. Right forward pocket for Surrey Park. Left back pocket for the Dockers. Unloads and sends it to a big pack. Cam will fly from the side. In fact, he won't. It's Templestowe get it to ground, and Moran is locked up almost immediately. Now the right half forward flank for Surrey Park, or between wing and half forward.
A bit of afters going on. Just quickly go boundary, boys.
Yeah, that methodical ball movement you were talking about before, Emily, it's started to break down from Templestowe in the last 5 minutes. So it's interesting to see what Surrey Park's been doing with it.
Box got it down to Valahe, whose kick was intercepted, and the Dockers move it to centre wing, broad far side. As they have it on the ground, Ari Motta can take a bounce, he can take another, sold the candy on his opponent and goes to the left half forward flank. The mark not taken, but the free kick paid to Mark Seedsman, who's got Jack Woods for company at the left half forward flank. 60 metres out from goal. He's pointing towards the big sticks. He heads somewhat in that direction. The left forward pocket, he has it. Ramboldi applies the tackle. Young still did really well. Got it to Mariani. Was he held without it? He was.
Methodical works until you've got about 1 minute left in the game and you're a couple goals down.
And that's classic Mariani. That I think he would have done that 300 or 400 times over his career, and he would have got 180 free kicks from it. So he knows what to do and how to do it.
Just quickly, just a couple areas later in the game for Surrey Park that aren't needed in these last couple minutes.
Absolutely. Is Matt Mariani. More than 250 games of senior experience across many clubs in the AFNL. But he's back at Templestowe the last couple of years and looking to add another on the board. Which he does just before the quarter-time siren. So a crucial goal to get some momentum for Templestowe entering the first break. They trail 2-1-13 to Surrey Park 3-4-22. The major goal kickers, it's all been singles across the ground. Joel Budge and Matt Mariani for Templestowe, whilst for Surrey Park, Ben Palmer, Dante Contranero and Oscar Knight. We'll go to our first break. We'll go to a break for the Eastland match of the round. Out here at Templestowe Reserve between the Dockers and the Panthers.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her two young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. Let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner, broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman, or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The one thing that puts a smile on my face is my kids.
The sun shining through the clouds, even in winter, absolutely puts the biggest smile on my face.
Seeing delicious food on the table ready for me when I get home.
One thing that always puts a smile on my face is seeing my family.
The thing that puts a smile on my face every time is really good music.
Just the simple pleasures in life.
Be remembered for the greatest moments in your life. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Sprained your ankle bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home, at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Welcome back to Templestowe Reserve for the Eastland match of the round. Surrey Park leading 3-4-22 to Templestowe 2-1-13. Josh Wood here alongside Blake Tennant, Brett Davidson, Emily Mackay, plus our 2 boundary riders, Chris Cordis and Jared Beanland. We'll cross down to one of them shortly, but before we do, we'll go around the ground, starting in Premier Division. Baldwin 3-3-21, leading Berwick 4 behind. No update from South Belgrave, Doncaster East. Noble Park 16 to East Ringwood 27. Vermont 22, 3-4-22 to Roval 4-3-27. And Blackburn a fast start, 7-1-43 to South Croydon, 2-1-13 in that game.
It's concerning, isn't it?
That is very concerning.
Yeah.
We've got Davis Harrigan out there, so we'll keep you up to date with
Catfish?
Yes.
Game number 551.
Not that we're counting.
Yeah. Oh, he certainly. As we'll go to Division 1, Beaconsfield and Wanturna South locked on 8 apiece. Mitcham 31 to Norwood 19. Moorbark 22 lead, Boronia 1. Behind. North Ringwood 5-4-34 to Bayswater yet to score, and Park Orchards, well, they're 5-2-32. Although in saying that, according to Play HQ, Montrose are 9 behind.
No, I think that's wrong.
So it might be 1-7-13 we saw before, but again, we'll keep you up to date as much as possible for those scores. In Division 2, Croydon a fast start, 4-5-29 to East Burwood, the 4 behind. Lilydale lead against Waverley Blues, 3-3-21 to 2-3-15. And Mulgrave a fast start, 4-4-28 to Scoresby, 1 straight 6 out there. At Scoresby Recreation Reserve, into Division 3 we'll go to Whitehorse Pioneers, 1-1-7, Tonville, 10-4-64.
Oh, no.
And I think this might still be, it's still the first quarter at the 25-minute mark, according to Play HQ, so a massive lead for Donvale out there at Springfield Park. Coldstream 5-1-31 to Oakley District, 3-3-21. Ferntree Gully lead 2-1-13 to the Basin, 2 straight 12. And Upper Gully 3-5-23 to Sylvan, 3-3-21. And then down into Division 4 we go. It is Bulleen Templestowe, 3-7-25 to Turnside Park, 1-2-8. Warrandyte Forest still no update. No update from that game, or Nuttawat in Kilsyth, and of course Fair Park, Croydon North Emlock taking place a little bit later. As we might go to Chris Cordis shortly. He's circling around Paul Fiorenza. In fact, we'll go down to Chris, who's with the Templestowe senior coach. Take it away, Chris. Or as soon as he gets his mic on.
Yes, thank you guys. I'm down here with senior coach Paul Fiorenza. Paul, interesting first quarter. What was the messaging in that huddle?
Look, clearance is well, it happened, but it's post-clearance meters that we're actually struggling with. Just connecting, taking that easy option and getting it out. They're doing that a little bit better than us. So it's just cleaning up around the stoppage. Yes, we're winning first possession, but it's a second and third possession we're not doing too well.
Yeah, and you mentioned Jackson Lee in that huddle there, obviously doing a very good job on Dylan Williams so far. You're happy with how that matchup's going for you?
Perfect. I knew Jacko was going to be a perfect matchup. It's only one quarter though, and Dylan can just turn it on at any stage. But he's got the mindset to do it, and it's down to everyone else to help out at the same time.
Excellent, coach. Best of luck.
Thank you there to Chris Cordish. Jared, what was the message at the Surrey Park huddle?
Yeah, thanks, Josh. James Kenworthy was very happy, especially with the pressure. 19 tackles on the whiteboard they had there, so very happy with that. They want to pick up Hayden Telford, or they want to hit up Hayden Telford a little bit more, especially when Williams has a couple on him, and acknowledging that they're kicking into the wind a little bit, so a little bit more of the kick mark style, but not afraid to go the overlap if it's there.
Thanks there to Jared Bainland and Chris Cordish doing a great job on the boundary today as the second quarter of action just about to get underway. Umpire takes one final look across Templestowe Reserve before giving the all clear, Davo.
Quick move straight away, Williams into the middle.
Yes, just knows that too. Well spotted, Davo. Coach's hat is on as the two rucks as we start the second quarter. And Surrey Park get the open clearance for this game. Inside their forward 50, tackle is laid, call for a drag in. They're very good at this, Surrey Park. They love to call if it's a drag in or not.
I'd be really curious to see the stats of how many taps Bo's won, but how many clearances Surrey Park has got.
He's been hitting it to him, hasn't Bo in his ruck? As again, he gets a hit out. Going to the Smith. But the ball's just going to trigger out, and a tackle is laid. And don't know what's happened there. Bit of afters.
Boundary side to Jared Bainland.
As per the Surrey Park whiteboard, they are leading the clearances 12-11.
There you go. So one up in the clearances that quarter.
One up and hasn't won a ruck contest the whole game.
So there's a snapping kick inside the forward 50 and a mark taken. There you go, Josh. Jared. They were looking for hitting up Telford and they got that man so Telford can line up. He's pretty much directly in front. He's going to kick Surrey Park's fourth of the day after a fast start.
I think I don't think he's as handy up the ground as what he is when he's really deep. Telford, he's played all his footy deep, so I think it's been a good move putting Williams into the middle.
So Hayden Telford can line up a kick Surrey's fourth. He does. The umpire doesn't move, and that moves the score to Surrey Park. 4-4-28 to Templestowe. 2-1-13. A 15-point lead to Surrey Park. Second quarter, and we're just going a minute into this second quarter.
We'll go down boundary side shortly. Chris Cordish.
Yeah, well, guys, we just heard Jared say that Surrey Park reckon they've won clearances 12-11. The Templestowe bench reckon they've got it 17-10. So I'm interested to figure out who's actually right.
You sure it's not?
We'll check out or power
I
coach.
reckon, well, Ryan's sitting here next to me. Maybe he could actually pay attention to some stats, and we can get his.
we might roll him
his
into the
update.
coverage here. Let's
Under
go.
the bus,
we
Ryan.
we might have to go to the appeal board the way we're going.
Ball back in the middle. Both rucks deflected the tap down. Williams runs onto it. Got Brutes a ball. Kick will favour his teammate after it bounced at right angles in Monks. Got the handball away, but we intercepted. And Ari Motta as the outlet got it out to Ferrisis. Ferrisis onto his left. Long inside forward 50. Out the back, Chris Sardis should be able to run onto it ahead of Marcus Young. He does. Dances his way out of trouble. Got Brutes a ball. Heads in the direction of Cam, but he couldn't complete the grab. Triculi is there to mop up. Inside forward 50 he goes. Surrey should have all the numbers, but it did really well to favour Templestowe the kick. And Fasanella dancing his way out of trouble. Got Brutes a ball. Plays on to Giovanini. Got it to Mariani and misses to the right.
Templestowe have had to adapt their game style here to move from that methodical style of play, which works when you've got a lot of that possession, but they're now having to do exactly what Surrey's doing, which is bombing the ball down the line. And Ryan has taken the stats, by the way, and that is currently 2 ruck contests to Tempe, but 2 clearances to Surrey Park.
Thanks to, I think it's Power Coach there, the Templestowe, the stats analysis providing us with those stats.
I think
Ryan's doing it manually now.
I think the other thing is that you've got Mitchener often goes to Fogarty. Williams has gone on to Fogarty and is really matching up with him really closely at all contests.
It's been a move, hasn't it?
It
so
has,
far.
yeah.
It's been the coaching box is
and he'll try and hurt Fogarty on the rebound.
as we'll go boundary shortly, just after this kick in. As Surrey Park looking to go back into the attack. Spoiled lay, but Templestowe got the numbers. Here comes Fogarty. He can kick a goal, and he's going to drift to the right, and it's through from behind. So now it moves the scoreboard to 2-3-15. Templestowe, Surrey Park 4-4-28. Let's go to boundary side for a comment.
Well, I want to see what Mitchener does in terms of like if Fogarty's being tagged there by Williams. If he goes to Ari Motta, both Motta and Fogarty got 10 clearances apiece last week.
Surrey progressed this to centre wing far side, where Hard and Zukowitz are happy to see that over the boundary line and for a throw in. Where we usually are, or have been in years gone by.
Yes,
out
we
there.
have.
Yeah, but of course we've moved to the far side and a much better view, I must admit. And I'd say credit goes to our medium manager, but more so credit goes to Lee Green and his team for always doing a great job providing the audio and the visual and for each match of the round. As another ball up will take place, Ben Palmer and Bo Mitchener. It's Mitchener again, the tap down. Templestowe might actually win a clearance here, although his Warren's handball was ineffective, and it'll come back here to Blake Laidler. Of course, drafted by the Sydney Swans in 2024 before cut from their list last year, and has come back to Surrey Park, the former Oakley Charger. He's got Woods as a lateral kick. We'll go to him now. Mariani will not be able to apply any pressure as Woods had Aidan Delaney screaming for it. Instead goes further to Angelo Rambaldi, had the sun in his face, still took the grab, looks in the James box direction, fell short of him, Paskowski. It doesn't get to him. Ferris is wrapped up by Aidan Delaney, and umpire will call for it. Prime view of this stoppage for us out here at Templestowe Reserve.
I wouldn't allow Woods so much latitude. He's the perfect setup man for them in the back half.
Ball tossed back up. Mitchener again, a tap down and another clearance for Templestowe. Ari Motta kick went over the top of two players' heads and went to Marcus Young, who got it inside forward 50. Fasanella with a sharp ball into the middle of the forward 50, where Surrey have the numbers, and Monks will handball it back to Jamie Glare. Glare will go searching for Nick Cairn, who went up against two and might win out here. He does, got boot to ball, and Surrey have an outnumber, although Mitchener is there, did really well, the big man. Couldn't take clean possession and applied a high tackle on Ben Palmer. Good effort, though, from Mitchener, who's having an impact in this game. Palmer ignored the handball receive options in Hearts and Cairn. Instead goes long inside forward 50, where Telford is. So was Williams. Ball doesn't favour any of the Surrey Park players, and Templestowe are able to mop up. Paparonis got it to Warren. Warren down the line, searching for Fasanella. And good body work. Umpire called play on, so Fasanella will pounce and send it in the Seatsman direction.
So there's two things there. I don't like Can doing what he did with the fact that he's had a go at his teammate for not giving the ball, then stood there and didn't pick up his opponent who got the ball and brought it downfield. You've got to be better than that. And there was no voice around that last contest. Take the mark, and the bloke was right behind him, and he's played on, given it up, and now we've got a shot at goal.
So Seedsman, about pretty much on centre half forward. No real angle to speak of. The former Oval man, good connection, and has his first Templestowe goal. So Seedsman gets the first of this second term for the Doggers. They're 3-3-21 to Surrey Park, 4-4-28, nearly 8 minutes gone.
Yeah, that's just the fast start for the Dockers. They've already kicked this goal, and we'll go quickly down to boundary.
It really is a new look forward line for Templestowe this year. Andrew Fasanella was their leading goal kicker in 2025, and he's playing more of a high half forward role. He was the one to set up that goal, so it's really interesting to see how the Magnets have been moved in the off-season. Christian Triculia as well, he's playing a half forward role after being a defender last year.
As we resume here, as Mitchener, and of course Palmer in the ruck. Mann, snap around the corner. And it's going to go inside the 450. Great mark taken. That was a run on there by UU Ashwin. Had some VFL duties last year. He was in and out the side. This is better ball movement. You don't want to handball to the tallest man in Mitchener, and a tackle laid in the middle of the ground. It's going to be a ball up.
Just an update on the stats. I've got 6 ruck wins to Tempe, but 4 clearance wins to Surrey Park.
With thanks to Templestowe for those stats as well.
No, they're the manual ones.
As a high tackle free, ducked by Marn. Smith gets it into the centre of the ground. This is a good chain of hand passes by Surrey Park. If they can get there, that was by Contronio. He tries to look for Williams. This is our first look he has for this afternoon. Snap around the corner. Don't tell me, Williams! What a pickup he's been, and he's kicked that one. Jeez, he can bring class from Port Adelaide coming to Surrey Park. Bit of a difference if you ask me, but Williams can line up and he can line up and kick his best of the day. And that is the Tobin Brothers goal of the day contender. 5-4-34, Surrey Park to Templestowe 3-3-21.
I was just going to ask, that is the front runner for the Tobin Brothers goal of the day, I reckon.
You loved that one, didn't you, Josh?
Just a little bit.
And look, and the reality is, young Lead couldn't do anything about that. He did everything right. He pushed him to the boundary, and the fact is the young boys picked it up and snapped a great goal. So that's what class can do.
Great ball movement as well from the Panthers. Out by 13 points early in the second quarter as Marn tries to run onto the clearance. It's off the deck from Josh Warren. The Dockers will look to immediately respond, although Sardis picked it up really well. Under pressure while he kicked it. Williams affected by Jack Marn. Still got a handball out to Paparonis, who slipped and went into the middle. Kick flirts with danger. Giovannini, the taller man, handballed it to Fogarty, who's got a handball option over the top. Handballs it to Yuyu Ashwin, who tries to get out of trouble. Kick was smothered, though, by Angelo Ramboldi. Surrey should have the numbers, and Ramboldi spills it out of bounds.
I don't think he had a foot, didn't he? He didn't have the right foot to kick that goal. Did you feel that way, Davo?
Yeah, and probably that one extra handball. I think Fogarty should have had a shot.
It wasn't even going to him, actually. It was he intercepted it. It was to his other player, and he just gone, nah, mine.
Ball thrown back into play. Box won that down against Giovannini. It's Paskowski, the clearance. Got it to Smith. Back to Paskowski. Goes to the left back flank for Surrey Park. The big fist from Jamie Glad to the delight of the Surrey Park faithful.
Resi boys are up and about.
They are.
I'll tell you that.
They certainly are out here at Templestowe Reserve. They lead Surrey.
The heartbeat of your footy club, Josh, the reserves.
Absolutely they are. As you would know, as a former Forest Hill Reserves fan, as Mox won that down. Looking for Garvin, who's locked up.
I'm actually looked in to play a game in a few.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, I don't know when, but I've still got my jumper, so if they need me, they can contact me.
I reckon you'll run out in the glasses as well.
Do you reckon you could be the next Prime Train, Blake? You can just do a little cameo in all these different clubs.
Mitchell got
in the twos.
Mitchell got the kick inside forward 50. The shot is through! And it's Joel Budge with his second goal of the afternoon, and only in his second senior game he has 5. And Templestowe 4-3-27, Surrey Park 5-4-34 at the 12-minute mark of the second term, Emily.
I'm really enjoying the way that Templestowe have decided to take the game on this quarter. So it's very different to their first quarter. So a bit more bombing the ball down the line, but also just more run and carry as well. So it's obviously converted on the scoreboard here too.
And I think because they've had to change their whole forward line up, when you look at it, they've got Seedsman, Mariani and Giovannini up deep. The two young boys now down low, and they're just learning to play with each other. Another opportunistic goal. We've seen a few of those today.
There you have our comments there. Davo and Emily Mackay. Two coaches, I'd say. So we've definitely got their coaches' hats on today. As Fogarty snaps it around the corner, looks for his teammate. That was by Mariani, but it's scooped away by Smith. Smith gets it inside the centre of the ground. And a mark taken. That was by Ryan Giovannini. First real look he does. And Ferrazes gets that one for the Dockers. This is better ball movement by the Dockers. Marcus Young, come from East Burwood, finds his teammate. A good mark taken. That was by Seedsman.
This is kickable here.
Yeah.
This is a goal on this ground, having known this ground a bit. This is not that
do you reckon you could have kicked this?
No. I would have kicked it from that
I reckon
angle.
I can kick it from here.
I would have kicked it from the goal square on this angle.
There you go.
But yeah, this is kickable here.
So here comes Mark Seedsman. He's been a good pickup coming from opposite and Roval as well, and that's going to drift to the left, and it's through for a behind, and that moves the score to Templestowe 4-4-28 to Surrey Park 5-4-34. So a 2-goal in this quarter by both teams as Surrey Park look to go back into the attack, Josh.
Aidan Delaney got it to Can, who ignored the handball receive of Aidan Delaney. Instead went to Rambaldi, got it to Sardis at the left half-back flank for Surrey Park. The Panthers to the right of the radio dial, and Templestowe to the left in this quarter as the kick wasn't the greatest to Pruden and couldn't pick it up cleanly. And Matt Mariani let him know about it as well, as we'll have a ball in left forward pocket for Templestowe, about 40, 45 metres out from their goals. It's not too sure how big the arcs are out here, but Emily?
Not 42.3 metres.
What do you reckon it is this time, Em?
47.6. What I did want to say was that Templestowe have had 9 out of the last 10 inside 50s.
As Sardis picked up after Templestowe got a shot on goal and got it to Piskowski, 2 former Blackburn men combining.
What do we anyway play on?
As he goes to centre wing far side, looking for Hayden Telford. Yu Ashwin on the ground, got the handball away. It might be to Giovannini, who heads in the direction of Carl Giovannini.
Tell you what, he's been dangerous this last 5 minutes. He's got himself in good spots. He's a great mark overhead, and he's a booming kick. And what they've done well, Templestowe, they've set up really well behind the ball, and they've been able to rebound anything that's come in this quarter, and that's why they've got so many inside 50s.
At a 50-degree angle, he'll kick from right on the arc out here at Templestowe Reserve. Of course, another former Blackburn man.
Josh, I got a question.
Yep.
How did you get to 50 degrees? What's the
I've got no idea, but I'm no Pythagoras as Carl Giovannini comes in and nails it. You don't need to be a genius mathematician to know how many points that's worth. By 4:34 apiece, 15 and 3/4 minutes gone in this second goal.
They've definitely gone to work, haven't they?
You know, there's 42.3 metres in the arc. I think that was 55 degrees at one. So
I was close.
But
I did general maths in high school, so
nothing wrong with general maths.
So back to the game.
Yeah. I don't reckon Blake did maths, so I think you're one step ahead of him.
No, maths wasn't my thing. I went to Cedar, and it's, they've definitely gone to work, haven't they, Templestowe?
Yeah, they have, and I think they've really blocked them well. Yu Ashram's got into it a bit this quarter as well on the wing.
Yeah, so Palmer just grabs it out the ruck, and here comes Surrey Park looking to respond. It's a 3-2 goal advantage going to Templestowe this corner.
Surrey Park's clearance work is keeping them in their position that they're in. 34-34, but they are absolutely dominating. They just can't convert more than 2 kicks after.
As we're inside the forward 50 of Surrey Park, this is better ball movement. Surrey can line up. Here comes Williams. He's around, but well done by Templestowe defence. And that's a shocking kick. And an intercept mark taken. That was by Paselski. Yes. Mike Brazowski.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
So Paselski can line up and kick Surrey Park's 6 for the day.
From about 70-degree angle.
Yeah. So he's been a good pickup for Surrey Park. You can line up and kick their 6 of the day, and it's going to go to the right, and it's through from behind. So that moves the score to 5-5-35 to Templestowe 5-4-34. Surrey-Burn was what I was getting to, Josh.
I was going to say that was, I think, mentioned last year, but again, math wasn't my math. I do have some strong areas, certainly not degrees and angles.
How do you go in algebra? I like algebra.
Anyway,
not the greatest. 90 degrees would be beside the goals.
Piskowski goes inside forward 50 after taking the intercept mark. Big pack forms. Templestowe have the numbers at the forward of the ball. It's Pruden, got a handball away to Can. Can's handball flirted with danger, but still found Piskowski, who's had a fair bit of possession the last couple of minutes. Sardis inside forward 50. Templestowe with the number. And that number is Joe Keogh. Of course, another former Donny East man. Went to Triculia, to Giovannini. Nearly ran into trouble, but worked his way out. Triculia, though, was in trouble and locked up.
We've seen that a couple of missed kicks, a couple of missed handballs, really with the pressure around the ball now. It's been crucial. Got to be clean.
All tossed back up. Again, Mitch into the tap down. Went down the throat of Laidler, though. Goes inside forward 50. Telford was there. Will try to pick up this ground ball alongside Contraneo. Burst away from Giovannini. Got it away for goal! That might be the goal of the day contender from Contraneo.
No, that's the goal of the day. That's the front runner.
That is an unbelievable finish from Dante Contraneo, tucked up to the boundary.
And it's off.
And somehow got it through. Surrey Park 6-5-41 to Templestowe 5-4-34 at the 19-minute mark of the second quarter.
Yeah, great snap goal, and that's 2 opportunistic goals he's taken, and that's what you need to do when you're playing that small forward role. You need to make sure that when you get an opportunity to hit the scoreboard, you do so, and he's done very, very well.
So there you go, Surrey Park get the response. It's now 3 goals to 2. Sorry, 3 goals apiece. Sorry, in this second quarter. So the Surrey Park have hit back. Getting a clearance kick. That was by Eri Motta and finds that man in Carl Gianavini. What a play he's been for this Templestowe lineup. He's just saying, hey, you need to get back on the board, back on the line, boy. So he's going to. Yeah, he's going to have a shot here.
What degree is this, Emily?
I'm not saying anything about this.
I'm giving
Max
up
is
on
not my, yeah. So is Giovanni can line up.
Just directly in front?
Yeah.
How many metres?
Can line up and kick the Dockers 6 of the day. And they're 4 for
on a
this
drop
quarter.
punt.
It's looking good. And it's going to be a mark. Intercept mark taken by
That would have
Box.
been orthogonal to the goals.
If that was Blake, Blake would have barrelled that.
So Box gets an intercept mark, goes inside, looking for a mark of the year. It's going to be a push in the back. That is a push in the back. Sorry, young man. You need to read the books. Read the books again. As Giovanni can play on. Looking around, scooping this up here would be that man in Budge who's kicked 2, but it's intercepted by Surrey Park. A 7-point lead going to the Panthers in Garvin. He's having a pretty good game, I would say, for Surrey Park today. And they're going to slow things down, the Panthers. We're going into time on now. There's 20, approaching the 21-minute mark into the second quarter, approaching half-time, and a mark taken. That was by Mundy. Good crowd in today as well, ANZAC Day. Of course, everyone will be probably where today at the MCG. But you want to come here for the match of the round, or people watching on YouTube and Facebook, or Radio Eastland 98.1. We're at the centre of the ground. Surrey Park controlling this one as they get it inside the forward 50. Who's there? Williams is around this one. Plenty of Dockers, but Williams can scoop this one up. He knows where the goals are. There's a Docker in defence. Where would this one roll? And it's going to go through from behind. So that moves the score to 6-6-42 to Templestowe 5-4-34. We've gone 21 and a half minutes in to the second quarter, Josh.
That player nearly knocked himself over from the behind post there.
Yeah.
The ball was bouncing all sorts of wrong uns, though. I reckon he was panicking.
As the free kick is found right half forward flank for Surrey Park. Jack Woods will get it. Calls for 50, but nothing doing. As Woods looks inside forward 50 for options. He decides to go short where Marn was. Has to become the tackler on Warren. It spills to Contraneo. Got it to Williams. On his left. Nails it. Williams has his second, and Surrey Park have their 7th. They're 7-6-48 to Templestowe 5-4-34. I'll tell you who's impressing me, Davo. It's Dante Contraneo this game so far.
Yeah, look, he's had limited opportunities, but he's taken every single one of them, and he's now been involved, I think, in 4 score involvements. So that's a tremendous effort for, as I said, a small forward, and they really hurt those sorts of goals. So, especially late in the quarter, they've kicked 2 really good goals to steady themselves down, because I thought Templestowe was starting to get a little bit on top with the run of play. And then the AFL thing is you come off the ground after you've been involved in 2 goals.
Of course.
In 2 minutes.
Of course.
Yes, as a tackle was laid by Mark.
Helps you reset your heart rate and make sure that you're composed throughout the rest of the game.
Oh, what a load of rubbish.
And this is a coach that's been here for 15 years, he says.
What a load.
As Mitchell in the ruck just gets it away to his teammate. That was kicked there by Ibusi. And they're going to roll this one out. First to try to get that one in his box, but scooped up there. That was by Sartis. Sartis gets it away to Garvin. Garvin goes backwards. Finds his teammate in Jack Woods. Jack Woods. Oh, no, that's not a good kick. And they're going to pick this one up. That is as coach killer as you get. And Stevie Arimola gets his first Don't Come Monday. As if you watch the show Bounce, that is a Don't Come Monday. Not a good kick that one was. And the Dogs can scoop that one up. 6-4-40 to Surrey Park. 7-6-48. Eri Motta with a great goal to get the Dockers back in distance. Let's go boundary side.
Well, if you're watching at home wondering why Surrey Park haven't really been switching the ball and have just been consistently bombing it down the line, I mean, there's your answer. Players like Fasanella, Tracoya, the midfielders as well, they've really been plugging that corridor space pretty well for Templestowe, and they make Surrey Park pay for that ambition.
As we go back up in the middle, high-scoring second quarter out here at Templestowe Reserve. Hard applies the tackle on Warren.
So even when Tempe are getting the clearance, they're getting tackled straight away. So it's very hard for them to win the ball out of the middle.
Ball thrown back up. Mitch in a good position, and yet another hit out as the kick went off the deck from Ebzeri, inside forward 50. Box picks up, handball away to Hart. Hart goes into the middle. Kick was a dangerous one, and so was that handball. Paskowski got Mundy over the top, who picked it up in the end. Will look to go deeper inside forward 50, and the mark is taken by Oscar Knight.
And that's what happens when you play 10 metres off your man.
Correct.
Maybe 7 metres. I don't know. Depends how
Come on, I thought you were good at maths.
How many degrees?
I actually also went to Cedar as well, thank you.
That's actually this is actually 0 degrees. I'm certain about how many degrees this is.
But that really hurts because you've got that little bit of momentum. You've got the cheapie back the other way, and now you've given away something that's a bit easy.
So Knight kicked 2 goals each in his first 2 senior games, directly in front.
David's just trying to tempo the commentary box here at the moment.
As he comes in now, drifts to the right, but goes through. Oscar Knight with his second, and Surrey Park moved to 8-6-54. Templestowe 6-4-40 at the 25.5-minute mark of this second quarter.
Well, they'd be happy to get one pretty much 2 minutes after that error in the D50 just before, so it keeps them out 14 in front. And we've got a couple of minutes until the siren probably is going to go as well. So nice little lead for Surrey Park.
Yes, it is. It's a 14-point lead, 26 minutes into this second quarter. So it's well and truly red time heading into the half-time break at Templestowe Reserve. ANZAC appeal rounds for every competition around Australia today. It's a great special day for this great country that we live in, and it's going to be balled up in the centre. It's kind of where the umpire balled this one up.
Fogarty lifted hard off the ground right there.
As a shove there, that was by Palmer, gets it inside. And first to try pick this one up would be Yu Ashwin, gets around, and that is might be holding the ball. It is.
That was incredible body
he got
work by Palmer.
Gain tackled.
Incredible body work.
Yeah.
That's a first ruck tap I've seen him in.
Afters as well.
What would you do in the middle? You've got Mitchin are winning predominantly 85% of the ruck contest, but they can't get any clearance work. Is there something that you'd be doing to change it up a bit?
With a dominant ruck and you're getting tackled if you are winning the clearance, I'd be trying to get the ball tapped on the outside. So he's really good at getting in front and tapping the ball straight in front of him. So if he went outside, and then it gives Templestowe a little bit more opportunity to run onto the ball.
As Oscar Knight can try kick his third of the day, he lines up, and it's going to drift to the right, through from behind. So that moves the score to 8-7-55 to Templestowe 6-4-40, and we're closing in on half-time. ANZAC around, and that is not a good kick. Goes to Telford. Telford goes inside the forward 50. Who's around this one? Williams is there. And a mark intercepted. That was by Paparonis. So Paparonis can go, and that's not a great kick either. What is going on with the kicks today, boys? I don't know what this ball is. I don't know if it's the ball. I don't know if it's skill. You tell me.
I mean, that's his third kick from deep in defence that have been either marked easily to a single play or kicked out of bounds. Just someone maybe run off him or do something to ease the pressure on him, because that's 3 very poor kicks from defence.
Yeah. As Fogarty just goes around a couple, and that's a mongrel snap around the boot. Mark taken. Surrey Park people unhappy by that.
There's also a lot of people calling for the ball but not doing a lot of movement, which makes it a lot harder to hit a target properly.
So Eri Motta kicked one before, kicked the last goal for the Dockers. He gets it inside to the wing where we aren't. Bit of a holding going on. It's going to be a free kick. No advantage called. It's going to go back to Templestowe. And to pick this one up is Marcus Young coming across Mies Burwood. He gets it inside the field, 51-1. And first to get this one would be Fasanelli. Knows where the goals are. He goes backwards, and that is it. Half time. Geez, the Dockers missed out on that one. And it moves the score to Templestowe 6-4-40 to Surrey Park 8-7-55. Goal kickers, 2 for Budge for Templestowe, and then singles around to Mariani, Seedsman, Eri Motta, Giovini for Templestowe, and then we've got 2 goals for Dante Contronio. He's probably been the best on ground right now as we speak. Oscar Knight's also got 2. Dylan Williams has got 2, and a single goal kicker to Ben Palmer. So after this, we're going to have the halftime show, and it's a 15-point lead to Surrey Park over the Dockers.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her 2 young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. And let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner, broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman, or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The superpower I'd love for a day is to fly.
If I could have a superpower for a day, it would be to time travel so I could go back and see how life was when my parents were young and stuff like that.
Be mind reading. It's always good to know what other people are thinking.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, their superpower is always providing compassionate care to families at their absolute time of need. Get to know the team at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Do you want to study at the #1 sports science school worldwide? Study sport at Deakin and benefit from the most advanced sports facilities available, from running tracks to biomechanics labs, and decked out gyms to a climate chamber. Deakin have what you need to graduate ahead of the pack. Discover endless opportunities in sports science by visiting deakin.edu.au/sport. Deakin, proud sponsors of the EFNL.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Yes, welcome back to Templestowe Reserve, the Eastland match of the round. 1v2 in Division 2 between the Dockers and the Panthers at half-time here at Surrey Park. 8-7-55 to the Dockers, 6-4-40. 15-point lead in what has been a bit of an entertaining first half. There's been some, a couple of momentum shifts at stages and probably some poor disposal use by both sides at times, which has made this an interesting contest at least. And Blake, I'll start with you calling the action in this game. How did you see it play out? And it just looked like at the end there, Surrey Park probably got back on top.
Well, they've really been on top of this game from the get-go, I would say. Templestowe's ball movement, in my opinion, is very slow. And where Surrey Park, they want to bring that fast energy sort of game. And I feel like the Dockers are going very slow at the moment. And it's probably why Surrey Park are really in front because they're trying to shut them out, and then they also got the speed off the ball with their midfielders on top at the moment. So, and the forward line's working really well. And I want to mention as well, Dante Contronio, what a game he's having, boys.
Yeah.
And he's kicked 2 goals, and he's only played 6 senior games. So, just shows where he's at the moment.
Well, between him and obviously Oscar Knight as well, who's kicked a couple himself, probably the less familiar names on the Surrey Park lineup. Dill Williams got involved in that quarter with 2 of his own. But Jared, down at ground level, warm conditions out there.
Yep.
How did you see it play out?
Yeah, it's been really interesting to see how Templestowe have attempted to move the ball now that they've got the clearance work taken away from them. They've gotten some of their run taken away from them, with Yu Ashwin being tagged out of the game. For the first quarter, he definitely got back into it a bit during that second. But, yeah, it's been a bit of a struggle for the Dockers, just moving the ball down the ground. They have had a few clear shots at it, though. You've seen people like Farizis, Ebrazi, Draculia as well, just being able to move the ball through hands and through feet a little bit more. And I really like the game of, or at least the positioning of Carl Giovannini. He's been able to provide a really good marking option coming out of the forward line. He's presented well, and just having someone like him lead up to the ball takes a bit of the edge off the poorer ball movement.
Same as Mariani as well.
Yes.
He's having a pretty good impact, but they just aren't getting the reward and the kicking, the missed opportunities that Stevens had. Like, he's had 3 shots on goal and he's only converted 1. So it's pretty much where Templestowe's at the moment, not taking their chances.
For sure, but a couple of those shots were pretty hard. They were up against the boundary line, and I think that comes down to Surrey Park's defence being able to push him out to lead. To have to lead out to a harder angle. But yeah, it's been an interesting watch for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Surrey Park, we've got some stats from the Templestowe bench. 68% deep entry rate compared to Templestowe's 56%. The clearances at different stages have been dominated by both sides at certain times. Templestowe have had 6 of the last 10 clearances, though, and Bo Mitchin has been obviously massive in the ruck, and we knew without Woodfull there today, Blake, that was going to be a real area of dominance for them. But they probably haven't made the most of it, have they?
No, I don't think so. And sorry, excuse me. I think Palmer's doing okay though, but Mitchin is still, I feel like he's on top at the moment, just given the first use. But he's also given it to the Surrey Park midfielders as well with his tap work. So it's an interesting battle, but you would say Mitchell is on top, but Palmer's doing okay and what Woodfield would usually do. So I'm pretty happy with how Palmer's going.
Yeah, certainly. We've got some scores around the grounds that we might go through. Blake's going to start them out.
Yes.
Premier Division.
The Tigers in Ballman leading 52-18. I've got no scores between South Belgrave and Doncaster East. East Ringwood 60 to Noble Park 28. The Hawks in Roval 49 to Vermont 35. And the Doggies, what a turnaround this has been, boys. A 6-goal second quarter blitz by the Dogs, and they are leading by 2 points over Blackburn, who kicks this 7 goals in that game. So
at one stage it was 43-1 in favour of Blackburn, Blake. Is that right?
So a fast start there. We go to Division 1. Beaconsfield, who I tipped as my Smoky, 33-1 turn to South 28. The Tigers 59 in Mitcham 56 to Norwood 39. Baronia back in front after a slow start. Murrabak were leading 22-1. Baronia 39, Murrabak 32. And this game could be 100 plus at the moment. The Saints 78 to the Bayswater 2 behind. Now this score, I don't think it is correct. It says 2 goals 9-21 Montrose Parkour, which is 7-6-48. I don't know if that's the correct score. They've been playing funny buggers. So
yeah, it can't be correct, Blake. Montrose is losing. What's going on?
I know they are losing, and I acknowledge that.
Just one thing. I don't think has it been mentioned during the week that Mitcham and Norwood, this is their first time ever playing each other.
Ever?
There you go.
Yep.
That's big. That's a big one. Good find, Jared.
Actually, good spot, yeah.
Someone mentioned that last year to me from Mitcham.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There you go. So Eastburg got a 2-point lead over Croydon. Lilydale playing Waverley. They just know how to play that ground at the LSO, 30-29. Mulgrave leads Scoresby 55 to Scoresby 34. Obviously, you got this game for the Eastland match of the round. Division 3, wowee. Domvale 149 to Whitehorse 22.
We looked at that score like 3 minutes ago, and it was Domvale 112.
Now the two
They will go past 200.
And now the two sides that have had the Domvale side, Coldstream 37 to Oakley 21, and the Basin, while everyone sort of predicted this, I would say, the Basin 61 to Ferntree Gully 15, Upper Gully 50 to Sylvan 29, and then we move to Division 4. At the moment, good game this one. Bull and Templestowe 40, Churnside Park 37. No scores down at Warrandyte Reserve, and no scores between Nunawading and Kilsyth.
And of course, Fair Park take on Croydon
Yes.
Block in the.
Are you going to go to that one?
No.
Next door to work?
No, I don't think I will be. That's a 6:30 p.m. start for anyone who's out and about. I might still be here, Blake, having a couple across the oval.
I think we've got to mention as well the great crew down here at Templestowe.
Oh, been fantastic, haven't they?
And you've got the name, sorry, I forgot his name.
Well, Ryan Bain's been looking after us
and the
here
Canaan
today.
people down there as
Yes.
well, giving us pre-game and half-time. And
Service 2 delivered to the media van.
Oh, this is great service. I know it's on the other side of the ground too, so if Templestowe are watching this, we salute you and say thank you very much for looking after us on this very proud day. I'm just going to say this now. Sorry, Ryan.
Keep going.
It's meant to be your job, but
No.
I'll take over if need be. But I'm just saying, can we see the Dockers coming back at this stage? It looks like Surrey Park have really dominated this first half. Where do you see this one, guys?
Oh, look, if they can get Mitchener just getting it down to Fogarty, Arimada, Warren as well. Like, they have the artillery in the midfield to start turning these clearances around, and if they're going to come back into the game, it's going to start from there. They have other options as well. It doesn't necessarily need to start from the clearance work, but if they're able to do that, then that's their first step towards winning this game.
Yeah, 15 points is nothing in this game. It really still a lot to play out. They haven't played their best football yet, and I don't think Surrey Park necessarily have either. So I think it could still go either way. I tipped the Templestowe at the start of the day, so I won't go away from it. I'll say they can come back and win this game. But certainly, as you said, they've got a few things to fix.
Yep,
Blake?
indeed.
Yeah, no, I think Surrey Park I'll win today, though, for sure.
There you go. All right, we're going to take our last break here, and then we'll bring back the call team for the second half out of Templestowe Reserve. Currently here at half-time, Surrey Park lead 8-7-55 to 6-4-40 Templestowe.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home, at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The one thing that puts a smile on my face is my kids.
The sun shining through the clouds, even in winter, absolutely puts the biggest smile on my face.
Seeing delicious food on the table ready for me when I get home.
One thing that always puts a smile on my face is seeing my family.
The thing that puts a smile on my face every time is really good music.
Just the simple pleasures in life.
Be remembered for the greatest moments in your life. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There are only 3 things that should be flushed down your toilet. Pee, poo and paper. Some wet wipes and antibacterial wipes say that you can flush them, but you can't. They clog up the toilet and pipes, causing expensive blockages. Save yourself a truckload of trouble. Put your wet wipes in the bin. To learn more, head to the Yarra Valley Water website, yvw.com.au/wet-wipes.
Hi, Dylan Dow from the Baroni Football Netball Club here. When I need to grab a quick coffee or a bite to eat, I'm popping into Eastland. Eastland's more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been a major partner of the EFNL since 2018. Cheers, Eastland.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Welcome back to Templestowe Reserve for the Eastland match of the round. Templestowe 6-4-40 trailing Surrey Park 8-7-55 at half-time out here at Templestowe Reserve. Both sides onto the park. Templestowe getting their final address and Surrey Park getting their final address from their skipper, Dill Williams. Of course, Templestowe led by the ultra-experienced Michael Fogarty, Josh Ward here, alongside Blake Tennant, Brett Davidson, Emily Mackay, Chris Cordes and Jared Beanland on the boundary. Davo, Emily, your thoughts on that first half and what can be done in the second half for either one of these sides to get on top, Emily?
Well, it was really fascinating to see the change that Templestowe had from their slow passages of play in the first quarter to then taking the game on a little bit more in the second, which has allowed for the score to close a little bit more. So I'm going to be really curious to see how they approach this third quarter because that fast passage of play was working. However, they've got really good skill when they do tempo.
Yeah, look, I thought Templestowe controlled the quarter, to be quite honest, and it just was, 3 or 4 moments where Surrey were able to get the ball in the forward line and they've kicked 3 opportunistic goals during that, which is really good to do when you're not playing great and you're still able to score. So it'll be interesting to see how they match up again, where the magnets are being moved and what happens. But we talked about it before with Mitchener. Em was saying she'd like to see him bring the ball a little bit deeper outside the contest to allow them to run on, where at the moment bringing it straight down the ground and they're being crushed in the tackle basically as soon as they pick it up.
I was going to say, we might go down boundary side shortly, but we'll save that for a little bit later as Williams is again starting in the midfield for Surrey. Spent a bit of time in there, but umpire holds the ball aloft, and we're underway in the second half of action in the Eastland match of the round. Palmer won it down. Mitchener went down his throat, though. Williams off the deck. Kicked it in the direction of Yu Ashwin, but picked it up inside 50. Smith playing as a deep target. Kick went very far. Garvin will try to run onto it. In fact, it's Smith who does. Could have got pinged for holding the ball, nothing doing, and it's going to be a ball up. Inside Surrey Park's forward 50. The first centre clearance for them in this third term out here at Templestowe Reserve. As mentioned, leading by 15 points as shadows start to creep over the home of the Templestowe. It is. And the free kick is found. And it's going to go to Yu Ashwin, who, as was mentioned in the first quarter, is getting a hard tag from Jamie Clare. We'll go short to Josh Warren. Warren will play on immediately with no man on the mark. Goes down the line. Surrey have the outnumber and Woods thumps it. Does it stay in play? It doesn't. Ari Motta couldn't keep it in. And we'll have a boundary throw in right half forward flank for Templestowe, about 55, 60 metres out from their goals. They kicking to the right of your radio dial this third quarter. Surrey Park to the left. But there has been a little bit of a breeze, not a whole lot. Probably dropped in and out throughout this game as Palmer and Mitchener go head-to-head. Palmer from behind, looked for Williams. Got the kick off the deck, but it's only to Josh Warren. Warren got it out to Brody Ibrahim, who's escorted out of bounds by Cal Garvin right in front of the interchange gates out here.
That's 3 ruck contests won by Palmer.
Yeah, which is good. So we've seen the improvements. He's getting around this one. Mitchener, Palmer, going head-to-head. And strong tackle away. That was by Mariani.
Mitchener still taking front position, but Palmer coming in just to punch and pretty much just stop Bo actually using his craft to tap down.
So Mitchener in the ruck against Palmer. Mitchener gets that tap. Hart involved. Finds his teammate. That was to Palmer, as we just mentioned. Smith in this contest getting very much looked after from Templestowe. In Lee. And it's tackle laid. That was by Contronio. He's probably been up there today as the front runner for best on ground today. Don't know how you guys feel.
Certainly had a good second quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah. As the two rucks going at it, Palmer gets the hit out. And here comes Yu Ashwin. He gets a good kick, but it's cleaned away, and that's a strong tackle. Josh Ward wanted holding the ball. He tried to get his Surrey Park hat on, but it's going to be a free kick going to Templestowe. Don't know what that one was called for, and as he finds the man in Seedsman, can someone tell me what that free kick was?
That was holding the ball.
Yeah.
To Templestowe, so they get an opportunity on goal here through Seedsman.
Wasn't it a Surrey Park tackle?
No, it was Templestowe who applied the tackle, I'm pretty sure.
I would have balled it up, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
we digress.
You've done any umpiring too, Davo?
No, we're...
Once you're a coach, you're never an umpire.
We're in great company when it comes to umpiring, in the presence of greatness.
5-time premiership.
Seedsman can line up a kick his second of the day and put the margin back to 9 points. Seedsman lines up behind 50, and it's going to go to the left and through from behind. So that moves the score to 6-41 to Surrey Park, 8-7-55. We've gone 3 and a bit minutes in to this third quarter, the premiership quarter. I'm sure you two coaches next to me would know what that is. And there's a mark taken. And might be a free kick or a mark, but it's going to Sam Hart. It's going to slow things down for the Panthers. Look at that guy with a nice seat there. Got the prime position. Well done to the man over there. It's a Sam Hart gets it forward. Big trying to go for the big Grays Mitchener, and a tackle lane. It's going to be a ball up.
Templestowe is set up really well. That kick away and 2 kicks away in the middle of the corridor, which is forcing Surrey to go down the line, which makes for a really one-on-one kind of contest and a lot of ball ups.
Mitchener took it out of ruck. Handballs get it to Ferris. Back to Mitchener to the left half forward flank where the intercept mark is taken by Nick Cairn. Sporting a bit of a different look this year as well. Cairn with the facial hair. Right half back flank he has it. Goes to the far side wing where Mundy was on a lead and took a grab. Between wing and half back for Surrey Park on the far side of Templestowe Reserve. Look to go inboard. Kick was dangerous. Searching for Pruden. Marn was there. Pruden out the back. Got the quick handball away. And the flying shot towards goal will not be marked by Blake Lydler, who's playing as a deep forward. The set-up kick there might have been from Jamie Glare. And it's a boundary throw in left forward pocket for Surrey Park. 5 1/4 minutes gone, third quarter. Leading by 14 points. The Panthers 8-7-55 to 6-5-41.
If you're a coach, you can say if you're going to go up in a contest like then, you had to punch the ball.
No clear winner in that ruck contest, and it's gone through for a minor score. So 8-8-56 Surrey Park to Templestowe 6-5-41. 5.5 minutes have ticked over in this third quarter.
So we're going back. Sorry, fixing my mic up as the mark is taken by Warren. Just throw it back to himself. There you go. He didn't mind that one as he goes inboard. And a mark taken. That was by Young. Young goes to Erimotta. Erimotta, this is a good view for us. The ball's just going to have it's like an unorthodox bounce. Finds his teammate there in Ramboldi. Ramboldi gets it inside and mark taken. That was by Sartis. Sartis going to slow things down. He goes inside 50. First to try get there will be Palmer, but it's a high tackle and it's going to go to the Dockers on their defensive arc of Surrey Park, attacking 50, just on the corner. There's the Surrey Park faithful behind the goals.
Couple of the Rezzies boys.
Yes. The heartbeat of your footy club. Goes inboard, finds his teammate in Breezy, gets tackled by Smith, and that's going to be a ball up.
That was just a reaction handball. Didn't really look to see. That was always going to be tackled.
So Rock will do it. Rock will do it. He did a terrific job in the final series, now umpire. And Mitchell's going to get a hold and a few shaken heads for that one. So Mitchell will get this free kick. Would love to see his premier data on Monday or Tuesday when it comes out. A short kick to Eri Motta. There you go, slow. And a drop mark that should have been taken to Young. Young gets inside, looking for Seedsman. An intercept mark taken. That was by James Monks.
Defensive goal square, he has it. Goes with a dangerous kick. Jack Mann, reunited at Surrey Park. Mann and Monks, as he looked lateral, decides not to head in that direction. Instead goes down the line. Palmer the main target. Couldn't complete the grab. Ari Motta's there, as is Contra Neo. Got it to Mundy, who was locked up. The umpire says, I'll have it. The good tackle applied there from Ryan Giovannini, who might be going up in this ruck contest. He won't be. It'll be Palmer and Mitchell. And Mitchell again dominating the ruck contest. Mann tried to burrow his way out, couldn't. The handball found Mariani, who went to the right half forward flank where it was cut off by Can. Chucked it on the boot. And we're nearly in play here as well. It went over the top of the Templestowe coach's box and a free kick to the Dockers. Not too sure who will take this free kick, but it'll be out of bounds on the full. Nevertheless, in fact, it might have been touched.
Call was touched off the boot, boys.
There you go.
Interesting. We've had a couple of those today as Palmer and...
We had one last quarter, didn't we?
Pretty sure. I think we did, actually.
Yeah. But Surrey Park will be loving this just quickly as well. Just killing time off. 15-point lead to the Panthers.
As Mitchell won that down, looking to find Williams. Boundary line beats him. Creeping closer to Surrey Park's goals, but still about 55 metres out from their big sticks. As we'll have this ball tossed back into play. 9 minutes gone, third quarter. Still no change to the halftime margin. 41 plays 56 as Palmer won that tap down after getting front position. Smith inside 50, looking for Williams. Mundy was there. Williams looking for a free kick. Nothing doing. They get it out to Fallahay. Dancing out of trouble. Got the boot onto ball. Head in the Telford direction. Smothered through in the end by Giovannini.
It's just a soccer goal. The World Cup's coming up, Josh.
It is. Middle of the year, pretty sure. So... Making his case is Giovannini. 8-9-57 Surrey Park, Templestowe 6-5-41.
That is a dangerous kick, and that's going to be a high tackle. I don't even know about that one, the young fella there, and Mitchell Williams.
Tell you what, he really works hard, doesn't he?
At 25.
Smith's like defensive work.
So a 25-metre free kick going to Templestowe, and they go for the short kick, and it's going back, sorry.
It was off the ball.
So UU Ashwin. He's getting heavily tagged, as we mentioned, by Jamie Glaire. And he goes to Eri Motta. He's having a pretty good game for the Dockers today. Yes. And he goes to Young. Young goes to Seedsman. Out the back here will be plenty of this, and Woods will collect this one. And that might be high. And it looks like it's going to be a ball up. So we're deep inside. Templestowe's a forward 50 here. Scoreboard reads Surrey Park 57, Templestowe 41. 10.5 minutes into this third quarter on the Eastland ANZAC appeal round. Top of the ladder clash between Templestowe and Surrey Park. Marn gets a hand pass. Goes to Giovannini, to Fogarty, and a tackle. We've heard those three names a lot today, haven't we, boys? And
we have. And a lot, I think they're just not getting enough from their smalls down forward, I don't think, Templestowe.
As a hit out, that was by Giovanni. Don't really see that in the ruck. Tackle was laid.
We've got Bo sitting in the back line. They're playing two behind. So we're saying that the forwards aren't getting much of the ball. They've also got a lot of pressure down the back as well. So it's hard for Surrey to bomb the ball down the line.
As we go play inside. Looking good. Going to Hart. Hart takes the mark.
I reckon he's close to Surrey's best on. Sam Hart had a fair few possessions.
Yeah. Tronio has been pretty good as well.
He has.
Looking forward to hearing our votes at the end of the game. So Can will go on. Does the kick on the outer side wing. Finds a mark. That was taken there. That was by 26, is it, Josh? Sorry, and Rimbaldi, sorry. There's a mark taken. It's going to go to Prosiowski. And here we go. Surrey Park in the centre of the ground. Sardis gets a kick. Finds his team out in Mundy. Mundy in the side, gets tackled. That's going to be a holding the ball free kick, is it? Oh no, it's going to go to Surrey Park by the looks of things.
25 there. I don't think the umpire said that he played on.
Okay.
Oh, dear.
That is stiff. That is honestly quite stiff because he definitely took that step, Mundy.
So Mundy will have this one. So what? So the umpire didn't say play on. So is that what I'm gathering here?
Yeah, he's taken the mark. Continued, turned around, taken 2 steps, didn't get called play.
Yeah.
Got tackled.
So Mundy can line up and kick Surrey Park's 9th of the day. He can line up. Umpire does not move. And the Panthers get another one with Jasper Mundy. And they lead by 22 points in the third quarter. 12 minutes in, approaching the 13-minute mark. Surrey Park 9-9-63. Templestowe 6-5-41.
And they're the ones, again, that hurt. You know, the extra 25 just gives them a little bit closer. And they've taken their opportunities in that situation. If you think about Templestowe, their full forward has had 4 shots at goal, one difficult and the other at Seedsman, and he's only kicked 1-3. He just hasn't taken his opportunities when he could have.
Still feels like he's finding his feet at Templestowe.
Yeah, he is.
And it'll take time, obviously. His first game out here at Templestowe Reserve. He would have trained on it, no doubt, but playing is obviously a different experience as we go back into the middle of Templestowe Reserve. Palmer and Mitchener in position to compete in this ruck contest. Nearly 14 minutes gone, third quarter. Surrey with the first at the 13-minute mark as Mitchener tried to take matters into his own hands. Couldn't, and will have another ball up in the middle of Templestowe Reserve as Sun tries to poke its head out here at Templestowe Reserve on a beautiful ANZAC day out here in the beautiful city of Melbourne as the tap went to Ferrisis on this broadcast side wing, who was immediately jumped upon. And another ball up will take place. As Mitchener again won that tap down to Mann, though, who couldn't take clean possession. So a couple of stoppages the last couple of minutes. A chance for Mitchener to just take matters again into his own hands. Up against Palmer. Palmer did well with body work. Goes to centre half forward. Mundy will pick it up. Try to shrug off the tackle. Got the handball away to Mann. Mann's handball intercepted by Ari Motta, who got it quickly away to his teammate. Umpire calls for the ball, despite calls for holding the ball from the Surrey Park faithful and the players as well.
In the marquee 10.
True centre half forward for Surrey Park this ball is as umpire throws it back up. Mitchener won it down. Yu Ashwin bursting through, getting boots of ball. 2-on-2. Giovanini front position. Getting on the ground there was Joel Budge, who got a handball away. Kick was a grubber, but still worked out for the Dockers. Mariani's kick was smothered. Tackle applied there on Hart, who still got the kick away to Laidler. Inside forward 50. Williams was there under immense pressure. Tried to apply the tackle, couldn't, and it's the Dockers who look to escape defence. They do. Ferris is the outlet. Into the middle he goes. Kick was overcooked in the end for his teammate. Hart was there, got it to Mann, looking for a free kick, nothing doing. And umpire will call for it in the middle of Templestowe Reserve,
It's literally a game of Surrey Park, get the ball, try to bomb the ball down the line. Then if they get a goal, awesome. If it's turnover, then the ball's being spread out to the wings from Templestowe.
Might go boundary quickly.
Yeah, guys, Ben Palmer looks to be favouring his right leg very properly on it at the moment. We'll see if we can get an update for you.
Thanks, Chris Cordes there on the boundary with Jared Beanland. Mitchener gets the hit out. Here we go, the Dockers. Can they get inside? They need a goal just before three-quarter time, and that's going to rush out. It's going to be a boundary throw-in.
That's the first time for a long time that Templestowe have had that spread from a contest and been able to actually get a clearance from that spread. So, and that's what the coach was talking about. That's what they need more of.
Just the control that they have. Templestowe haven't quite seen that in play. There's 2 rucks going at it. Snap there by Fogarty, gets smothered, and that's going to roll out. Oh, I tried to keep that one in. It was young Budge.
He's a live wire, is Budge, in that forward half.
He is. Second game, so he's obviously played the first 2 games. I'd say he's come from the 19s. He looks pretty young, I would say.
I think he played 17s last year.
17s, yeah. And then played for Marceline College.
There you go. So it's 2 rucks going in it. Fogarty gets tackled by 2 Surrey Park players. Jack Mann with the slim shady haircut, as I mentioned before. Giovini in the ruck. And Mariani around. Snap kick. That was by Paparonis. Looks okay. That's a goal. Yep, it is. Wow. Paparonis gets that one. And it's back to 16 points. Third quarter, 17.5 minutes into that. Well done by Paparonis.
I'll tell you what, we've had a lot of snap goals today, haven't we?
Yeah.
There haven't been a lot of actual set shots.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've noticed that too. There has not been any.
Oh, that's what happens when you're not being methodical with the way that you're moving the ball. It's just bomb the ball straight down the line, let's run onto it and have a shot on goal. And for Surrey Park, it's converting.
Yep. So, you know, you've got, again, another goal out of nothing. So, let's say they need to get 2 in a row, Tempe. They need to get 2 or 3 in a row to really put pressure under Surrey.
They need to win a clearance.
So we go back up in the middle. Mitchener won that down. There's a ruck free kick paid to Templestowe. Mariani takes advantage. Inside forward 50. Seatsman was there. Out of bounds it goes. Some good work there from Jack Woods. And let's Mark Seatsman know about it. We'll have a ball in left forward pocket for Templestowe. So a centre clearance for the Dockers.
This is where the Templestowe would like this to be for this last, I'll say, 10 minutes to go or whatever the time says.
They have had a bit of momentum, but particularly late in this quarter as Giovannini went up in ruck and won that down. Marn runs onto it. Hamble was an errand one. Abzeri, Mariani was there, locked up by Jack Pruden.
I think it's every single time Templestowe actually start to take the game on, they're starting to get the ball into their forward line. When they're playing that slow footy, there's just nothing happening for them.
And Surrey are able to flood the numbers back as Giovannini went off the deck. It's going to go for a boundary throw-in, in fact. Boundary umpire called for a behind, but didn't have the greatest view, and umpire did, so we'll have this ball thrown back into play. Left forward pocket again for Templestowe, about 20 metres out from their goals.
Got to make something out of this.
Certainly right there, Davo, as Mitchener might get a free kick. He will.
That's probably the 4th time today that this has happened in the ruck.
And it's because he's such a big unit and
Yeah.
you can't get a run at him. You try and wrestle him. He's so smart. He's a big man. You go out there and stand next to him. He's a big unit.
So Mitchener, I'm not going to try to describe the angle, not after that second quarter. At about 25 metres out, 20 metres out, in fact, he'll kick from, shouldn't miss, and does.
No, he missed.
I reckon it's because you didn't describe the angle there. You know, it's going to be every single week, so...
Yeah, I'm just going to give up from now on. Templestowe moved to 7-6-48 to Surrey Park 9-9-63. It's a time on, Blake.
That is a you problem, Wardy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, I do not speak about the maths. I'm not the greatest in that.
That's a really poor miss too from Mitchell. You can't afford to miss those goals.
And that's going to be out of bounds going to Templestowe. So getting in. Eri Motta in this one. I reckon he's up there for Templestowe's best on today.
I would agree.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Now, spoiler away, that was by Rambaldi, the former Doncaster captain.
Well, I've actually got young Jackson Lee in my best players for Templestowe because if you think about it,
you think of the way the start's been from Williams, so
he's had no influence really.
Yeah. As the ball is in, and it's going to roll out of bounds. I completely agree there. Lee's done a terrific job on Dylan Williams.
And had possessions in the first quarter as well, Lee. Yeah. So,
he's kicked the 2, but yeah, it's a hard one to say. The 2 rucks going at it. Palmer, Mitchener just gets the double fister, finds his teammate in Mariani. Mariani gets it, and it's going to roll. Good for Templestowe. They're inside the pocket. We're going to quickly go to boundary. Just quick one, boys.
Yeah, ever since Palmer's come off, Templestowe have really found the ascendancy in the clearances.
So boundary throw-in now. Just a delay at the stage here. And he's going to take his time. Durac's going at it. Getting there was Box. He got the hit out. And tackle laid. It's going to be another ball up. Directly in the box of Templestowe. 22 minutes into this third quarter. The Panthers lead by 15 points. Box gets it out by a snap kick. And here come the Dockers. They've got a lot of numbers out the back here. And they get it inside the forward 50. Who's going to fly? And a great intercept mark taken. And that's going to go to Pruden. So Jack Pruden, the former South Belgrave man. He can get it inside. Goes. Oh, you don't really see that from Tom Smith. And this ball's going to roll out. Plenty of numbers around this ball, and Smith tries to pick it up. It's going to be a ball up. And we've gone approaching the 23rd minute mark. I'll tell you there's about 4 minutes to go. If we need our great Wayne Brasher to let us know what the time is, he'll let us know.
I'll tell you what, they've added the ball in their forward 50 a long part of this quarter and just not been able to score enough.
As Aidan Delaney got his way out of trouble, kick wasn't the greatest. Mundy applied the pressure on Matthew Zukowitz.
That's a big testament to Surrey Park's ability to defend in
Yeah.
the back line, consistently again and again, having to mark or spoil back and forth in that Templestowe half of the ground this quarter's been.
Led by guys like James Box and Sam Hard, who combined for that clearance. There's calls for a free kick, but the Surrey players were looking for a free kick and Templestowe take advantage. Monks applies the pressure. Fallahay was shoved off the ball legally, so Templestowe will look to move this forward. Ari Motta got it out to Williams, burst away, got the kick inside forward 50. Prudence there, got the spoil in. Garvin's out the back, as is Warren. There's a free kick for tripping. Is it going to Surrey or to Tempe? It is going to Surrey.
Yep.
Cal Garvin, who has had a decent game on a wing, Garvin.
Yeah.
Serviceable, as he has been for the past couple of years. He goes to his fellow wingman in James Monks. Goes down the line with a dangerous kick, but it'll pay off. Oscar Knight kicked the 2 goals today. Kick wasn't the greatest, though. Bounced by favour. His teammate in Paskowski heads in the Dylan Williams direction. Up against Lee. A good tackle applied by Lee and a ball up. Continues to blanket his influence, this Jackson Lee on Dylan Williams, and another forward 50 stoppage will ensue for Surrey Park. As Telford goes up in ruck, Mitchener won that down. Mundy roving here, got a handball away, calls for holding the ball. Contraneo was there. High free kick paid to Contraneo.
Oh, I'd like to see that one.
Yeah. Interesting calls. We might get it up on the replay. Probably not the greatest view. 50-50 that call.
Yeah.
But it's going to be Dante Contraneo, who has an opportunity to kick his third, and certainly one of the better players for Surrey Park today, the former Blackburn junior. Hasn't played a whole lot of senior footy the last couple of years due to injury for Surrey Park, but from directly in front, about 20 metres out, he'll kick from, doesn't make a mistake. And it's back out to 21 points, the margin in favour of Surrey Park. 10-9-69, Templestowe 7-6-48. Contraneo has 3 as we go down to Jared Beanland.
Thanks, Josh. Ari Motta, a couple of plays ago, he, I think, copped a hit to the head, perhaps. I wasn't entirely sure what the contact was, but right now he's on the bench getting a bit of a massage, but he just looked like he was in a bit of bad shape.
Well, they need him back on the ground, and we all know what it is with the head knocks these days. Could they be mindful of that?
So that's where we've had the ball in Templestow's forward 50 for 10 minutes. It's gone down there once, and they've kicked a goal.
Surrey been doing that all day.
So
Yeah.
back in the middle. Skipping around, this is Surrey Park. And a free kick is going to go to Giovini.
You guys know these teams better than I do. What's the forward line structure with Templestowe? They've got players out. What's going on here?
No, they've actually got quite a few in, but they're all new for that area. They've not played a lot of footy together. And the forward line.
I think the siren has sounded.
Yeah, it has.
It has. And that will be it for 3/4 time. And at the moment, it is Templestowe 7-6-48 to Surrey Park 10-9-69. So a great start by the Panthers. Can they hold on, or will the Dockers win on Anzac Day? We'll find out with a big last quarter to come straight after this.
As Sarah opened her invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. while her two young boys wrestled on the floor. Tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. Let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastland Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The superpower I'd love for a day is to fly.
If I could have a superpower for a day, it would be to time travel so I could go back and see how life was when my parents were young and stuff like that.
Be mind reading. It's always good to know what other people are thinking.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, their superpower is always providing compassionate care to families at their absolute time of need. Get to know the team at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Hi, I'm Ben Desson from Montrose Football Netball Club, and when I need a new kit for a night out, I head over to Eastland. But Eastland is more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been major partners of the Eastern Football Netball League since 2018. Thanks, Eastland.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Welcome back to the Templestowe Reserve for the Eastland match of the round. Final quarter just about to get underway. It is Templestowe 7-6-48, trailing Surrey Park 10-9-69. Looking to knock off the Dockers for the first time at the senior men's level. Surrey Park in this top of the table Division 2 clash. Josh Wood here alongside Blake Tennant, Brett Davidson, Emily Mackay, plus Chris Cordis and Jared Beanland on the boundary. Hopefully we'll be able to get James Kenworthy for an interview, but we'll go around the grounds. Baldwin 65 lead Berwick 44. We're starting, of course, at the Premier Division level. In Division at South Belgrave, it is Doncaster East 7-9-51 leading South Belgrave 5-8-38. East Ringwood 95 to Noble Park 5-4-34. Roval 84 to Vermont 53, and Blackburn
Boundary.
82 leading South Gordon 71. Jared, boundary side.
Thanks, Josh. I've got James Kenworthy down here with me, mate. What was the message at three-quarter time?
It was mainly the kick on. Obviously, the umpires were starting to get on the whistle a little bit that quarter. And we know that once that decision's been made, we just got to let it go and focus on getting that ball back. And then, obviously got a 3-goal lead. So let's not sort of let them get into the game and focus on what we can do.
And you're most happy with your defensive pressure as well. We've noticed that all game. You've held up really well. Who's been the stars down there for your books?
Really, it's been from a whole team point of view. Obviously, start defence from the forwards. And they've been excellent in their forward-line pressure. A couple of our goals in that third quarter was from a direct result from those tackles, like tally, run-down tackle and all that sort of stuff. So it's been a genuine whole 18 out there, team defence stuff.
Awesome. Thanks, James.
Thanks there to Jared Beanland and James Kenworthy. Chris Cordis, you're at the Templestowe huddle.
Yeah, very simple message from them down there, guys. They had 66% time in the forward half, but just couldn't convert their chances. So it's really just a case for them making their entries work, making each other work for each other and hitting the scoreboard.
Absolutely. Thanks there to Chris and Jared doing a great job down on the boundary. Davo, what's the key for Templestowe to get over the line here?
Well, they've got to, if they're going to get the ball into their forward half 66% of the time, they've got to make sure that that they score, and they've got to get one or two quickly, and then put real pressure on Surrey. But they can't afford to kick a goal and let the ball go straight back and Surrey kick another. Surrey have kept this distance for a while. It needs a big quarter. They've got to kick 4 goals to win the game, and they've only kicked 7 so far. So Templestowe need to really have a good quarter.
Sure do. Emily, your thoughts ahead of this final quarter?
If Mitchener can win the ruck tap and then win a clearance and the ball just gets bombed down into their forward line and they can convert, it's not hard.
We'll wait and see as umpire holds the ball off. Final quarter underway in this Eastland match of the round. The Panthers leading by 21 points and right on cue. Mitchener wins the first tap down. Ebseri runs onto it. Kick was interfered with. Went to box to Marn, who was locked up, and umpire says, I will have it. So it looks like Palmer is starting on the bench. I did see him at that 3/4 time break, and he was a bit proppy on the right lower leg. He might have got some strapping, so that'll obviously be a bit of a watch as Mariani in the trenches and getting the kick inside forward 50. Sardis affected the spoil. Out the back there was Palmer, who's playing in a defensive role. Kick was out of bounds on the throw fall. So Palmer back on the field, but not playing up in ruck in that first ruck contest, which is quite interesting. And it'll be Joe Aidan Delaney, former Vic Metro representative Aidan Delaney, and a former Oakley Charger as well. Come to the club from Greensboro this off-season. Templestowe, he has it in the right forward pocket for Templestowe. The dog is hitting to the left of your radio dial. Surrey to the right in this final quarter as his kick wasn't the greatest. Budge pounced upon by Nick Cannon. Another ball up will take place. Right forward pocket for Templestowe, who will want to kick the first goal of this final quarter in front of a good crowd out here at Templestowe Reserve. Giovanini won the tap down. Woods got boot to ball. Kick should be intercepted by Ashwin, wasn't. Mariani again was there. Umpire circling and says, I'll have it, boys, and we'll have it tossed up. Centre half forward for the Dockers.
Sorry, Em, you go.
I was to say their setup is really, really good. So Surrey Park, again, this quarter probably going to struggle to get the ball out of their defensive 50. And
holding free kick. I think it's going to go to Templestowe.
one thing I'm liking about Mitchener's ruck work at the moment, he's gone for, instead of just tapping the ball directly in front of him, he's gone for a distance or he's grabbing it out of the ruck, which is making a huge difference to getting the ball into the forward 50 for Templestowe.
And we watched Begg do that last week, didn't we? And he did it really, really well. When he started to take it out of the ruck, it just changed things up.
Yeah, well, you can't defend it. It's a grab it out of the ruck and then kick the ball 40 metres, or probably for Wardy, he reckons it'll be about 60, but we know how good his mass is.
So exactly. You Ashwin can line up and put the Dockers back down to 15 points. Ashwin, and it's going to go to the right. And it's going to be, the margin is back to 20 points to Surrey Park.
They should be able to lock it in here. If Surrey Park get out, they'll use their run to be able to get the ball into their forward line, but they're going to struggle with the way that Templestowe set up at the moment.
Cairn on kick-in duties once again. Goes to the far side of Templestowe Reserve. Mundy's all by his lonesome and takes the mark.
I think it's out of bounds on the full.
It's hard to see with the... Since we are on the far side, usually it'd be a bit easier if we were on the club room sides, but there's going to be a free kick to the Dockers. Inside forward 50 they go once again out the back, Young. And Marcus Young will look to kick the Dockers' first goal of this final quarter and reduce their deficit back down to 14 points. I'll just throw it to you, Emily, for the angle of this one.
45? We're going 45 here?
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it's also quite good to see a mark in the forward 50 for Templestowe. They've struggled with that the whole game. And again, if they just get the ball in a couple of times, take a few marks, they should be able to have a few more set shots on goal. We'll see how this one ends up.
This is why they've recruited him, to do exactly this.
25 metres out. He comes in now.
Probably a 20-degree angle, let's be honest. There we go.
And he kicks the goal to Marcus Young, his first of this afternoon's game. And Templestowe reduced the margin to 14 points. 8-7-55 to Surrey Park, 10-9-69. To their credit, Templestowe, 8 goals, 7 individual goal kickers for them today.
Yeah, and when you look at it, we've played 4 minutes of football, and the 4 minutes is basically spent in Templestowe's half of the ground. So
they're maintaining possession. It's their game. They just haven't been able to convert at all. starting to now, obviously.
So a 14-point margin to Surrey Park. Fourth quarter action. Are we in for a grandstand finish? Mitchener tries to get it out, but first to get it out, there will be Box. But the Dockers go inside for 50. Finds Sartis. Sartis gets it going forward, and it's going to be spoiled through. And it's going to be a boundary throw in.
Do you reckon they've been told just get the ball forward?
Yeah,
that's what it looks
I
like.
reckon they've had 2 kick off the grounds in that situation, not try to pick it up and get tackled.
So the boundary umpire will throw this ball in. Box and Mitchener going at it. Mitchener in the front position, gets it going. Here comes Templestowe with Mariani, gets it off to Seedsman. Seedsman off the ground, that's going to be out of bounds on the forward, and it's going to go to Surrey Park, and to pick it up will be Chris Sardis.
I understand the idea, but that's just, when the ball's in that situation, you want it out of bounds there.
Surprised they've gone down the line here. They've had heaps of options in the middle of the ground.
Sardis looking for Mitchener, gets it out, and it's going to be a ball up yet again on the wing, the clubhouse wing, as they call it down here at Templestowe. 2 rucks going at it. Kick off there, that was by Josh Warren, the vice-captain. He gets a fall for Templestowe. Tackle laid, the umpire wants it, he is, and it's holding the ball going to Surrey Park.
Jack Woods will look to play on, dangerous kick, Ferrises will cut it off. He does have a decent boot, Nick Ferrises.
If you're going to kick there, you have to be kicking to a target, though. That cannot be a dump kick up to the top of forward 50.
Flirted, sure did flirt with danger. So Ferrises hasn't kicked a whole lot of goals in his senior career, just the 4 to date. And his 32nd senior game. Comes in from true centre half forward, lets it ride beautifully. And it's an 8-point ball game out here at Templestowe Reserve. Ferrises with his first. They now have 8 individual goal kickers, Templestowe. They're 9-7-61. Surrey Park 10-9-69 at the 6.5-minute mark as we go down boundary side.
Yeah, part of the message at the huddle from the line coaches was just to take control of the game a little bit with some kick and mark in the defensive line, and whoever just kicked it there for Surrey Park up to the top of the 50, they did not get that memo, unfortunately.
It might have been Jack Woods with the kid, yeah.
And that they've done that 2 or 3 times though. They've kicked in that poor area.
So the 2 rucks going at it. We do have a grandstand finish. 8 points is Surrey Park's lead at the moment. Centre of the ground. What a game.
Next goal is crucial.
Oh, it is.
100%.
Can the Dockers steal one again? They do so with Mariani involved. Gets wrapped up and it's going to be a tackle. 7 minutes into this final quarter. 8-point lead to Surrey Park. Top of the ladder clash. ANZAC weekend. Put on YouTube right now. It's a grandstand finish. Tackle laid. And it's going to be a ball up. Or are you around at the moment, around the grounds, on the car, listening on 98.1 Radio Eastern?
Mariani's had influence in the last 3 or 4 contests. It's been enormous.
Harry Motta back on the ground. Finds Warren. Warren goes inside the forward 50. Marks is going around. Giovini involved. And that's not a great kick, and that's going to go out of bounds on the floor.
Ben Palmer with that kick. As mentioned, playing defensively. And it was Carl Giovini, or it's going to be Christian Jakulia with his opportunity to send the Dockers once again into attack. Plenty of numbers in the forward 50 for the Dockers, who trail this game by 8 points but have all the momentum as we enter the 8th minute, or the 8-minute mark of this final quarter.
Blake, can I get your estimation on the angle of this one, please?
I'm not doing this. No.
Oh, we're done.
I'm not embarrassing myself.
Ask
Josh.
I've already done that, and Giovannini looks like he's coming up as well.
Yeah, he copped a head knot. That's just what the delay in play is for, to get him off.
So, Trukulia, as mentioned, has it at the left half forward flank for Templestowe. We'll look to send it long and deep to the hot spots. Palmer's out the back as the loose man. Tapped out of bounds by Marcus Young.
It's probably a good spot to be, but it was a poor kick to go into that area. But it's probably a good spot to be at the moment.
Always is when you get a forward 50 stoppage, and particularly if you're Templestowe, since they're trailing in this game. We've had pretty much all the territory in this final quarter, most of it in the third, is tapped by Joseph Aiden Delaney. Got it out to Warren, though, whose handball was an errand one. Kept in play by the Panthers. The kick was a dangerous one. Will Ashwin went onto it? He does. Kick wasn't the greatest. It went as high as it did far. Is the mark going to be paid? It is!
Seedsman.
So here's Mark Seedsman's moment to reduce the margin to 2 points. If he kicks this is a contender for the goal of the day as well. Tough angle.
This is a tough kick, this one. So if this was on the other side, it'd be much easier. This is actually a really tough kick.
You'd be going left to right, wouldn't you, for this?
It's really tough.
And with the Surrey Park faithful, no doubt, giving him advice as he comes in now. The former Roval man absolutely nails it.
That's a great goal.
And it is 2 points the difference. Templestowe with the first three of this last quarter. 10-7-67. Templestowe to Surrey Park 10-9-69 at the 10-minute mark of the last quarter.
Do you reckon that Surrey Park are kicking themselves with, was it 9 behinds they've scored today?
Yeah, I think, it is. It's 9 behind.
Yeah, 10-9.
10-7, sorry.
Yeah, I still think, I think what they're going to kick themselves for is some of their kicking out of defence in the last 10 minutes has been really poor.
That's what happens when there's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
If we go back to our regulating and coming off, making sure you're calm and stuff, things that you don't believe in, that's just pretty critical.
We got a grandstand finish coming for you. 10 minutes into this final quarter. 67 Templestowe, Surrey Park 69. The Panthers had a 21-point lead at three-quarter time, and now all of a sudden it's back to 2 points. What a great start the Dockers are having.
This is a move it forward at all costs game for the Dockers.
Yep.
So next goal, and that's going to be a hold. Yep, it is. It's going to be a blocking free kick going to Bo Mitchener. Mitchener will get things moving forward for the Dockers. 1-on-1 and a great mark taken. The general down back for Surrey Park. They get it forward to Surrey Park, but that's not a great kick. And finds again with Keogh. Keogh goes to Ferez's. Kicked the goal in the last, just a couple minutes ago. Mariani's involved. This is his special play. And it's going to go through for a behind. 10-8-68. Surrey Park 10-9-69. We'll go to boundary quickly.
Bo Mitchener's ruck work is a constant that teams have to deal with. They have to find a way around it. Surrey Park did that for three quarters, and now it's just starting to fall apart for them.
As Aiden Delaney goes to the far side, kick intercepted by Marcus Young at the right half forward flank for Templestowe. Goes inside forward 50, where there's plenty of numbers for the Dockers. Out the back, Fasanella boots a ball. This is to the right. Scores are level.
What are you doing next week?
69 apiece. The Dockers with all the momentum out here at Templestowe Reserve. 12 and a half minutes have nearly ticked over in the last quarter as Nick Cam will take this kick in. They almost do have to take the game on Surrey Park. They're well and truly behind in terms of momentum. Still equal on the scoreboard though.
I don't think they've had a forward 50 in this quarter.
It has all been Templestowe's. Can goes to the far side again, where guess who? Bo Mitchener wheels onto the left. Got a short option in Warren, who looks like he might be going for the set shot here, Josh Warren. So a great opportunity either way for Templestowe to hit the front through their vice-captain.
Jared, just on Mitchener in that ruck work, he was rucking in the front of the contest for that first three quarters, and now he's actually dominating from the back as well. So it was pretty easy to get that pattern right for the first three, but very hard when he's dominating from the back in a ruck contest too.
As Warren comes in from outside the arc. This will give the Dockers the lead either way. If it goes through, it's Palmer who spoils it for a behind. Templestowe hit the front, 10-10-70.
Is this the first time they've hit the front today?
I reckon it is.
I reckon it is. This is the first time the Dockers have hit the front.
They've got to change something up. They're just continually going down the line every time.
And what you're saying about not having a 50, they're taking so long to get it out, and that's showing for that.
And they're always going down the line as well as Harry Motta gets this one, but scooped up by Surrey Park in Can, and he's just got no one to kick to. First to get there would be Lee, who's having a massive day for this game. Gets tackled, goes to Keogh. Keogh to the centre of the ground. Goes to UU Ashwin. What a battle this will be. Smith and UU Ashwin. But here going a tackle laid. How good has this man been playing today, fellas? Jackson Lee, what a game he's having today.
Massive.
He might get my 3 votes today if it's in contention. Not going to review it because I got in trouble last time. And here comes Surrey Park with Knight. Knight gets it inside the forward 50. Williams involved. Couldn't get the right bounce. Tackled straight away. And Williams, the star recruit of Surrey Park, hasn't had the best afternoon.
Surrey have been able to convert when the ball is in their forward 50.
Yes.
So the next 30 seconds are going to be really important for
Got
them.
to get on these small forwards.
This is a crucial part of the game. Mitchener gets the hit out. What can Templestowe do? This is where they've been vulnerable. And a high tackle.
It might have been a trip called by the umpire.
I think it was more of a trip than
He's got the cramp as well. Hot day, of course.
Time wasting, do you reckon?
No, there's time on. They stopped the play.
Oh.
He is a bit ginger, though, is that Templestowe man.
So here they go. Paparonis goes to Airy Motta. What a game he's having for Templestowe today. Got a knock earlier, but he's back on the ground. Airy Motta gets it inside to the outer side. Wing first to get there. Great mark taken. That was by Monks.
Centre wing right in front of us. He has it, does the former Doncaster man. Darting ball's not a great one. It still finds the hands of Hayden Telford, who handballed it to Paskowski. Had a decent game so far. Heads in the Williams direction, up against Jackson Lee. Lee did really well once again. Williams applying the pressure, still got a kick away, did Lee. The pressure applied there by Mundy, but Keogh escapes. Goes for a run and gets it to his teammate in Ashwin. Ashwin's kick is spoiled out of bounds. In fact, it's not. Keeping it in play is Ebzeri. Got the handball out to Andrew Fasanella onto his left. Kick was not great. And the mark going to be taken by Hayden Telford. Playing in ruck the last couple of minutes. Goes lateral with the kick to Sardis. Goes down the line, searching for Jack Mann in a 3-on-1. Did well, did Mann. But it's out the back for the Dockers. The handball away from Paparonis to Williams. Williams got it to his teammate in Giovannini. Searched for Ari Motta. Up against Turin. Completed the grab. Plays on immediately. Mariani goes inside forward 50. Looking in the Seatsman direction. It's in play though.
Why would you lead there? And I don't understand. That's just...
It's still a...
This is a coach killer, isn't it?
This ground, you just do not do that. There is just no value going into that area.
Still a boundary throw in and a forward half stoppage for the Dockers because it bounced before it went out of play, I should say. Is Young going up in ruck against Telford. Telford won that down. The Panthers try to win the clearance. They can't. It's locked up though. Inside forward 50 for Templestowe. So advantage Dockers on the scoreboard and in terms of territory. As Young prepares to go up against Hayden Telford. He thumped it forward. Mitchener was there. Snap to the left.
At the start of the game, we were talking about game style. Surrey Park taking the game on. Templestowe having more of a method to the madness. And this is where the method to the madness holds up. Last couple of minutes. Last quarter. Yep, Blake?
They've got to change this up. They can't go down the line. They've done it 4 times this quarter.
Run out of the square and even get further. Use the other side.
So we've got 2 coaches in today. Great to see. Mark taken by Palmer. I don't think the big man should be down this end. Should be down there, down on the wing. So Palmer bombs it. Who's going to fly for this one? Mitchener almost had the set. Hart, this is good here. Surrey Park, good ball movement. Where's this one going to go? Telford involved, but there's plenty of Surrey Park jumpers. Smith does a short kick to Contronio. He's already kicked 2 today.
He's got all the confidence in the world, Blakey.
I think he's got 3, sorry. So he's got 3. This was goal number 4, Contronio.
They really got hurt then on that forward running from Surrey Park. He's not confident. He wants to handball the ball off.
Yeah, I reckon he's gonna set this one up. If I had to put my coach's hat on.
Well, if he's going to set up, he's got no players that are leading from the goal stand.
No.
Very hard for him to do that.
No.
So
He's gonna have to
Contronio
go.
can line up Kiki's ball of the day. It's going to go to the left. Who's going to fly? First to try and pick this one up is Paparonis. Snap around by Surrey Park. Williams and it's going to go through from behind. So again, we've got a draw, a 1 point lead going to Templestowe. 10-11-71 to Surrey Park. 10-10-70. Approaching the time on. Let's go to boundary.
Luck is a big thing in footy. I did not like that kick by Ben Palmer out of defence, but it slipped through Bo Mitchener's hands, and Surrey Park were able to employ that surge game that we've not seen for such a long time throughout today, and that is what got them this entry.
It'll be Matt Sugowitz on kicking duties, all the experience in the world, and we'll be looking, and we'll have plenty of options as well. Pretty much all the numbers, bar two, James Box and Mark Seedsman in Surrey Park's attacking half as Zukowitz decides to go to this broadcast side. Fallahay will fly. Did really well there, did Marcus Young. Kick will be intercepted by Sardis, who wouldn't have played on.
He's been good.
He has been good in defence as Sardis. Goes short to Garvin. As mentioned, serviceable on a wing is Cal Garvin. All the numbers pretty much in Surrey Park's forward 50. A mongrel of a kick. Will it work out? It's a free kick.
Templestowe.
It is to the Dockers.
Oh.
Might have been a blocking free kick, but it's still in Templestowe's hands, and they'll look to take all the time in the world through Joseph Keogh. Kick was a dangerous one, still pace off to Paparonis, goes further down the wing to Christian Triculia. Triculia will go inside forward 50, searching for Andrew Fasanella, went over the top well and truly of his head. Seatsman's out the back, can't keep it in play.
That is coast to coast. They've taken it on coast to coast, forward pocket, perfect position.
Boundary side.
We've seen Palmer down in defence this whole quarter. They've just given the call for him to go back into the ruck, so it might even the ledger a bit.
He's in this ruck contest now up against Mark Seedsman. We're into time on, 21 minutes gone, final quarter. Templestowe 10-11-71 leading Surrey Park 10-10-70, down by 21 at three-quarter time, but they've kicked the only 3 goals of this last quarter, have the Dockers. Pressure applied there from Smith and Fallahay, umpire calls for it.
They've had most of the ball for most of the game, so
Yeah.
they're finally getting reward for effort here.
They certainly are. As the tap down again, one by Palmer, Ari Motta. Monks was the goalkeeper, but it won't matter because there's a minor score, and Monks will take this kick in. 10-12-72, Surrey Park, Templestowe I should say. Surrey Park 10-10-70, nearly 22 minutes gone, and it's Nick Can.
3 goals, 6 for the Dockers this quarter. At this moment of time, 1 point lead to the Dockers. Last quarter, we're into the time on stage. This is where the crunch time matters. Top of the ladder clash. And here come the Dockers in Warren. Warren, where's this going to go? Mariani, snap around the corner. Don't tell me. The Dockers are in. 7 point lead to the Dockers. 11-11-77 to Surrey Park. 10-10-70. And it's a 7 point lead to the Dockers.
He's had a huge quarter.
He has.
Huge quarter, Mariani. His work in the middle was, he's just bullocking work against Marn was extraordinary. He's added something up there, and that is classic Mariani. What you just saw there was his ability to work hard, get it, turn around and score. So, look, they've taken the lead. They just can't afford to lose this contest and get it straight down.
I'm so keen to see how this contest is going to be going to go this.
Have they
in the
put
next
Williams in the middle?
Yeah, they've
Yes,
got
they
Williams,
have.
they've got Marn, they've got Tom Smith, the big guns in there for Surrey Park, for Templestowe, Bo Mitchener, Mick Fogarty. And
So much space on opposite broadcast side. The ball's going to have to go there.
Yeah.
They're going to run onto it.
As Monks looks like he's playing as that forward winger. Back up we go. Mitchener won that down. Marn slapped it from behind. Palmer tried to follow up his own work. It's Mitchener who got boot to ball. Templestowe into attack again. Fasanella, kick into the middle. Mark might not be paid to Williams, but he still plays on. Heads in the James Monks direction. Can't pick it up cleanly, under pressure from Ibrahim. Tackle applied there by Monks on Ibrahim and a ball up. 23 and a half minutes gone. The Dockers up by 8, 11, 12, 78 to Surrey Park, 10, 10, 70. 4 goals in this last quarter have seen them just about home, the Dockers, but still a bit of time to play as down the line Triculia goes. And it's out of bounds on the 4 right at the top of the club room. So I was going to say we might not get that ball back, but it's an opportunity for Surrey Park. You almost have to think they might go for the switch here, Davo, but Templestowe are covering the ground pretty well at this stage.
They just can't go down the line. They've got to do something. They've got to find, even if it's a short, just create something. Don't allow him to set up.
Nick Cam will take this kick. Centre wing far side of Templestowe Reserve. He goes long down the line. The fly on the ground was Fallahay. Got the kick inside forward 50. Laidler's the deepest target. Lee was there. Oscar Knight got the kick off the deck. Garvin under immense pressure. Umpire circling and will call for it. You'd almost think they'd have to call from this stoppage here, Davo.
Well, they need to do something because they've just taken the ball out too easily, Tempe.
Mitchell won that tap down. Warren's kick was smothered. Telford got boots a ball. It's a high kick. It'll fall short and go through for a minor. So nearly 25 minutes gone. Templestowe 11-12-78 to Surrey Park 10-11-71. In a classic Eastland match of the round once again out here at Templestowe Reserve. Blake, Matt Zukowitz on kick-in duties.
What a game we're having here. Top of the ladder clash in Division 2. And Mitchell just shows the ball to Palmer and says, I've had the better of the day over you. As Motta gets it forward for the Dockers. What a game he's having is Airy Motta. Gets it inside.
That's lovely control football. Lovely control football. They've got the ball with a good player at the moment. He'll be smart. He's a leader.
So Warren, the Dockers are trying to save the game. We've gone 25 minutes into the final quarter. What's next? Can Surrey score? They get it inside the forward 50, and that might be out in the full. And it's going to be a ball up. Boundary throw in on the boundary wing, on the Australian flag, on what a special day it is. ANZAC Day footy here at Templestowe, and that just hit the flag. You can just see it in the vision. So we're on the boundary side. What a day of football it is. 25 degrees in Melbourne today, and what a spectacle it is on a special day. The Dockers and the Panthers, top of the ladder, pushing the back free kick. And it's going to go to Surrey Park. They need to go to Surrey Park here. Time is not their friend. They get it inside to Surrey Park on the cricket pitch. Handballs it off. That was by Mann. And tackle late. Smith involved. What's the umpire doing?
Called a throw.
Called a throw.
Called in a throw.
From Contraneo.
And it's going to be a Dockers free kick.
And he's going to go to Joseph Keogh. A couple of big moments in the last quarter, as has this man, Bo Mitchener. Goes down the line. Again, just chipping it around. 27 minutes gone. Zukowitz or Giovannini, one of those two, goes back to Paparonis.
His kicking hasn't been great, so I think he'll probably go long.
Which he somewhat does. Kick was cut off. Telford will send the Panthers once again into attack with a high kick. Laidler out the back, couldn't complete the grab. Knight was there for support, has to become the tackler, couldn't. Glare under immense pressure from Ashwin. Umpire circling and will call for it. So 27.5 minutes gone. I wonder how long this quarter will last.
Well, if you're Jones Kempworthy right now, you'll be happy where this ball is at the moment.
Telford going up in ruck against Bo Mitchener. It's Mitchener again, that tap down. Out the back, Sam Hart was there. Mann got it to Woods, who looks like he's playing a bit of forward. And there's a free kick to the Panthers.
One, don't they?
Nah, Murubak.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. Yeah, they sing that one as well. Heard that
Well,
one
Moorbach
last
have to win games in order for them to.
Well, they did last week. We don't talk about that.
No, we do. We've got plenty of time
Sorry,
to
did they
discuss
beat
that
Montrose
game.
last week?
Yeah,
And we've got plenty of time to discuss the Montrose game against Park Orchard shortly.
tough loss, I saw.
But we are going to go to one last break for today's edition of the Eastland. We'll keep going, actually. Apologies. But we're still just a couple of technical difficulties at the moment. But we'll touch on some of the scores.
Do you want to do votes first or scores?
Yeah, I think we'll go with our awards. Of course, the Tobin Brothers goal of the day and the Cryo Stay Young Eastland best on ground. Let's go with the goal of the day first.
Contronio, Dante Contronio.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's a lock. So Dante Contronio with the Tobin Brothers goal of the day. $50 Coles My gift voucher going his way. Blake, you're 3, 2 and 1.
Now, can I put the votes down just so you guys can trust me with my maths? Is that okay? All right.
I don't know.
I'll put them down anyway.
All right, here we go. So
I think Lee had
we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and you can do it as well, Wardy. And then if Blake does really well today, then next week he can do it by himself.
We'll give him an A+.
All right, here we go. So my votes for today, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. I believe that's how we do it in the match of the round. My one vote, I thought he was outstanding in the ruck today, and I thought Bo Mitchener, 1 vote for me. I'm going to go, 2 votes. It's a hard one for me, but I thought Dante Contronio deserved 2 votes today with his 3 goals. Set him up for that, so he gets the 2. And my 3 votes today, Jackson Lee. He was superb all day for Templestowe, and I thought he deserved on Williams too, the informed forward of the competition.
Davo?
He didn't quite look at my votes, which was a good thing. I'm going 1 with Mitchener again. I thought he was outstanding, and his last quarter was sensational. I'm giving 2 votes to young Motta. I thought he was consistent all day, and his run and carry was the difference, I think, at times with them moving the ball. And I gave 3 votes to Jackson Lee. At the start of the game, we said the one thing that has to happen is that Dylan Williams, who's kicked 9 goals last week and I think 5 the week before, had to be stopped. I know he's kicked 2, but he wouldn't have had 10 possessions, and Jackson Lee has played an absolutely sensational game of football.
Emily?
I've got Kyle Giovanni for 1, so I thought he was just very consistent in the second and third quarter in particular. Then Matt Mariani with that goal in the last goal in that quarter, and then Mitchener. I think he was just so consistent, and the way that he adapted his ruck work from in that last quarter from the first 3 where he was already dominating anyway, but that allowed for Templestowe to be able to get the ball into their forward line a lot more.
Quite close in the vote so far. Chris Cordis, you're 3, 2 and 1.
Okay, I'll get through this quickly. 1, Carl Giovannini. Shame that the head knock took him out towards the end of the game because he was brilliant throughout there. 2, Jackson Lee. Enough's been said about him already. And 3, Big Bo in the middle.
Jared?
There's going to be a few players stiff from my votes. I got to give 1. It was a day for the nullifiers a little bit. I got to give 1 to Jamie Blair. He shot down UU Ashwin all day, and I think he was probably Surrey Park's most important player out there. Given that, Jackson Lee, I'm going to give for 2 on that nullifier theme. 3, I'm giving to Ari Motta. I was really impressed with his clearance work. He was the one centreman for Templestowe that got off the leash a little bit too much, except for Mariani in the fourth quarter.
My 3, 2 and 1, I've got Contronio for 1 vote. Was a spark through midfield and up forward and kicked the 3 goals as well. I am also going to give the 2 votes to Jackson Lee, and Bo Mitchener will get my 3 votes.
So Mitchener gets the best on.
So just quickly doing the math.
I've got 3, 6. I got 9. I got 11 votes for Mitchener.
And Jackson Lee, I've got down because I gave him 2 votes.
He's got 10.
No, he's got 12.
What?
According to because I gave him 2 votes as well.
I've got 3, 3, 2, 2.
I was going to say, did someone give him 2 votes?
I gave him 2.
I was going to say, so I think that's Jackson. I think there were a couple who gave us 2 votes.
Can we? Who gave Lee?
You didn't give Lee any votes, did you?
No, I did. Giovannini,
Chris,
Mariani,
did you give him
and
votes or Jackson Lee? Yeah, I was going to say, so it's Lee, it's Chris, Jared, and I that gave
the 2
to which is 12 for Jackson Lee.
And who did the 3s?
I gave him a 3.
And I think Davo might
gave him a 3.
Yeah.
Blake, you cooked that.
Yeah.
You are not doing your votes.
So Jackson Lee, our Sports Guy Eastland best on ground by a vote. We'll just put it at that. Cryo Stay Young Eastland best on ground. It's chaos out here at Templestowe Reserve. So we're going to go to one final break.
Speaking of chaos, apologies to YouTube and Facebook viewers. We lost the stream within the dying seconds of the game. The streaming PC actually died. I think it's overheated. It's pretty hot in the van here. 25 degrees out there, 35 in here. So
it is pretty
we
warm.
will go to an ad break, as you said, and we'll
come back. Well, why don't you wrap it up, Lee?
Me wrap it up? You keep going.
We'll go to a break here for the Eastland match of the round. Templestowe victors 78-71.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her two young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. Let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner, broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman, or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The one thing that puts a smile on my face is my kids.
The sun shining through the clouds even in winter absolutely puts the biggest smile on my face.
Seeing delicious food on the table ready for me when I get home.
One thing that always puts a smile on my face is seeing my family.
The thing that puts a smile on my face every time is really good music.
Just the simple pleasures in life.
Be remembered for the greatest moments in your life. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Welcome back to Templestowe Reserve, Eastland match of the round run and done. It is Templestowe 11-12-78 to Surrey Park 10-11-71. Undefeated against the Panthers and in season 2026 on this ANZAC Day, this special day. And you'll be able to see, if you're tuning in on Facebook and YouTube, the pre-game ceremony that was magnificently run by the Dockers and the Templestowe RSL. Josh Wood here, alongside Blake Tennant, Brett Davidson, Emily Mackay, Jared Beanland and Chris Corders. We'll go through some scores around the grounds because final scores are starting to come through across the EFNL. And as always, we'll start in the top flight of the Eastern Football Netball League. And it is Balwyn 84 defeating Berwick 7-16-58. No update from South Belgrave Doncaster East since around about three-quarter time. East Ringwood 2012-132 have defeated Noble Park 88-56 in that game at Pat Wright Senior Oval. Roeville 60-point winners over Vermont 135 to Vermont 75, and Blackburn in the end defeating South Croydon 108-86. No real surprises in Premier Division, it must be said, Davo.
That's a great comeback from South Croydon because they were miles down at quarter time. Who was it that got beaten by? Is it Vermont got beaten again?
Yeah, 60 points they lost by, so that's
going to hurt.
And then obviously East Ringwood against Noble Park, they had some serious reinforcements come in East Ringwood, so big victory for them, remain undefeated into Division 1 and Wanturna South, 13-14-92. are up against Beaconsfield 10-4-64 in that game out at Home Park Reserve. Baronia 13-10-88 have in the end defeated Mooroolbark 7-13-55 in that game out at Heights Reserve. Still going at Walker Park, and it is Mitcham 22-15, 147 to Norwood 8-6-54. In fact, that is a full-time score. North Ringwood victors over Bayswater 23-11, 149 to the Waters 5-5-35. And currently, in fact, it might be a full-time score. Currently out at Domini Reserve, Park Orchards 18-14, 122. Yep. Looks like they're just about to get over the line against Montrose. 13-11, 89.
Kieran Rice has kicked 5 goals today.
I'll look at him change the subject. Have a look at him.
Come on, Blake.
Can you imagine for that, Blake? No, can you imagine how his Premier Data stats will go if he's kicking 5 goals in the midfield? But just the Sharks needed a response. So did Montrose.
I tell you what, my Smoky is doing very well. Wanturna South, no one's talking about them. They're 3-zip.
Yep.
Flying under the radar.
They're flying under the radar. They're a lot better than what everyone makes out.
I put them in finals, so I'm with you too, Davo.
Couple of tests the next couple of weeks. Montrose and then North Ringwood. So...
2 wins.
You actually would probably say that they would be the favourites.
Both at home, though.
Yeah. I actually agree. Wanty South would actually be the favourites next week against Montrose.
Around the grounds in Division 2, some close games. It's been a close weekend. There's at East Burwood Reserve, Croydon have got their second win of the season, 6-16-52 to 6-10-46 East Burwood. Waverley Blues have come from behind against Lilydale, 11-12-78 to Lilydale, 11-8-74. Trailed by 25 points at three-quarter time, the Blues, and kicked 5 goals to just 1 in the last quarter. Similar to the game out here, of course. So the Blues getting over the line. Mulgrave 17-15, 117 to Scoresby 7-9, 51 in the other Division 2 game. And we'll go to Division 3 because there's a big score, a particularly big score. Donvale 39-14, 248 to the Whitehorse Pioneers 8-11-59. Ridiculous.
What do you learn from those kind of games?
You know what's ridiculous?
59's not bad.
Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
If you're going to kick 249, it's not often that the opposition's going to kick 60 points.
Yeah.
So
how many goals are scored in that game?
So that would be 47.
Do you reckon that'd be close to a record in a game of footy?
We'll have to do some deep diving.
No, I think if you look at some of those scores we used to see out in the country leagues, 300, 400 or something.
Though. Oh, and saying that, like, you probably got to look at some Nunawading games from back in the day.
Yeah, I was going to say potentially
during the struggle years.
Yeah. Coldstream got the job done, 92-69 over Oakley District. The base of a big victory over Ferntree Gully, 21-11, 137 to Ferntree Gully 4-5-29. And Upper Ferntree Gully have defeated Sylvan by 40 points at Sylvan Recreation Reserve. 16-13, 109 to Sylvan, 10-9, 69.
They were behind before, weren't they?
Yeah, early in the game, and they've gotten over the line. In Division 4, final score from Tedajani, Churnside Park 14-14, 98 have defeated Bulleen Temple 11-14, 80. And Kilsyth big victors over Nunawading, 213-47 out there at Coonung Reserve. No update for Morandite, Forest Hill, and Fair Park, Croydon North Emlock playing a night game as well.
I don't mind that from Bulleen Templestowe. They're looking pretty good against the top teams of Division 4 at the moment.
They sure are, and obviously fascinating their next week going up against Fair Park, who play a night game. And as mentioned, if you're around the area, get on down and watch the Lions take on the Kangaroos. We might just start wrapping things up. We're about just under 2 minutes away from wrapping up. Jared and Chris on the boundary, I should say. Great job as always. Great to have you back as well, Jared and Chris.
Thanks, Josh. It was a lovely day for it. It got a little bit hot down there, but wonderful to see the play from that angle.
Gutted for you, Josh. Absolutely gutted. But yeah, brilliant game, brilliant day out. Can't complain much.
Looks like I might have turned one, actually. Brett Davidson on special comments. Always a pleasure having you in the van and doing a magnificent job as always in a division you know very well, Davo.
Yeah, look, I think it came out as I thought at the start of the game. I thought Templestowe would get just over the line. A lot of injuries with both sides. They'll both get better during the year. I think they're the clear best sides in the competition, but Templestowe will take his any day of the week.
Absolutely. Emily Mackay, who's been magnificent the past 3 weeks, jumping on special comments and such great insightfulness. I don't know when we'll be seeing you next, because I think you mentioned you're back at Sandringham Dragons next week.
Sandy have a game in Brizzy next week, so I just won't be around. But we'll see. This has actually not been a bad gig. So a couple of weeks after, we've got a lot of buys coming up. So I'll be in and out in Sunday games and stuff. So I'll be around.
Fingers crossed. It's been great having you involved in the AFNL media team, as mentioned.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and it's been an absolute pleasure to give Blake a little bit of rubbish.
And of course, my co-caller today, the man who did a magnificent job in the caller's chair, big bad Blakey Ted.
Oh, jeez. Thank you, Josh, for that as well. So, really looking forward to this one. And 2 top teams. And, well done to you, Josh. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure. Lee and Megan Green doing a superb job behind the camera and the audio. That does us for the Eastland match of the round. And Kate Green earlier today as well. But that will do us for the Eastland match of the round. Templestowe victors by 7 points.